Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it. My name's Jay Milne. #Blue. Our sports update deliverer. The Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid? You might be honest. All right, here's what's going on in the Nasty Cup.
So, what's Kapanen? That's really all I planned for today. Just saying that at the start of the show.
You sly dog.
My goodness, Oil Country, how are you doing? The Oilers are in the Western Conference Final for the third time in the last 4 seasons. Their opponent? TBD, brah. Or W or D, brah. Might find out tonight. Dallas with a chance to move on if they can beat Winnipeg in Winnipeg. Oh, Reid Wilkins, J. Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. It was, Jason Milne, a just complete slugfest of a hockey game. Just an absolute battle. I remember when I said at the start of the Kings series that it looked like the Kings had 8 players on the ice sometimes when they were defending well. That's what it looked like last night when a team got the puck into the offensive zone that the other team was allowed to put 3 extra players on the ice. There was just nowhere to go, nowhere to get the puck to the net. Complete commitment from both teams. And I mean, certainly, I don't know, when did you think it was probably going to end 1-0? I certainly have started having that feeling in the second period even.
Yeah. I would say for me, it was more like probably early in the third. Just nobody was able to score. There was chances. There was plenty of chances. But it was just nobody was scoring. And I know there's so many things about this game which we'll dive into, but would that rank up there with one of the most entertaining games of hockey, playoff hockey that you've witnessed? Given that it was 0-0,
entertaining. There's different ways to look at entertainment.
Okay, let me preface it. Given that it was 0-0, it went to overtime, 0-0. Was that the most entertaining 0-0 3 periods of hockey you've seen?
Here's what I would say. That was one of the most, well, I'm going to use that word again. That was one of the most patient and committed game that I've seen from 2 teams. Because that wasn't one team, that they stayed with each other and then 5 minutes into the second period, one team broke. That was neither team broke. I mean, even though the Golden Knights lost, it's not as if they broke or played impatiently. I mean, they turned the puck over at the offensive blue line. Not a bad turnover, but it allowed the Oilers to get the puck going the other way. And then the Oilers got the puck to the net and won a net front battle. And Bruce Cassidy said in his postgame after the game, they stress winning net front battles at both ends of the ice. They didn't win that one, and it knocked them out. But it was just, I mean, of course it was entertaining and ultimately very satisfying for Oilers fans in the end. I just thought it was. I used this word a couple times last night. Just so compelling to watch. Mm-hmm. When you think of all the skilled players in that game, and Vegas has their share of them, and even Eichel last night, he still made me nervous every time he touched the puck, even though there wasn't a lot of room for him either. Just for all that, all the good players in the game, all the players who have scored big goals and a lot of points throughout their careers. That everybody was just completely, we are checking. We are not giving up anything for free. We are playing desperate. We are recovering. We are protecting our goaltender. And that's what made it entertaining. It was like game 2 for sort of raw, wild, what's going to happen next entertainment. Maybe that's what I think of more when I say a game was entertaining. that game certainly was entertaining, but it's like a different type of way. Like that game 2 was entertaining in the way like a Schwarzenegger movie can be entertaining. Last night's game was more entertaining in like how a thought-provoking drama can be entertaining if you're watching a movie.
Yeah, I just, you couldn't leave your seat. You couldn't leave the game. You couldn't go to the fridge and get a beer unless it was a commercial break.
Right.
That kind of game where you didn't know what was going to happen next. And either team could have scored at any point. I mean, there was chances galore. There was, and I understand what you're saying, especially from the Oilers side, flipping that thing out of the zone. Get it.
How many flippies were there? Jeez.
And how many times did they boo Darnell Nurse standing behind the net waiting for a line change?
Yeah.
I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah.
But, okay, the compelling maybe would be a better word, Reid. But I just thought it was fantastic. And, I mean, for that game to finish with that goal is perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it poetic? For that gritty game and that slugfest of a game to finish on a greasy, just ramming yourself and putting yourself in front of the net goal.
Yeah.
I think it just it served that game well.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those goals where, you get to see the net bulge and it's an obvious great shot. I thought McDavid might give us one of those when he had that 2-on-1 with 1:06 left. But just... you're watching, and then all of a sudden you see the Oilers jumping around, and it's like, oh my God, the puck must be in. And then I started having all these, oh my goodness, was it over the line? Was there goalie interference? You always worry when there's a pile up in the crease like that. Clearly the puck was way over the line, and there was no goaltender interference. But because they cut to Vegas, so they're watching the goal on the bench, which they do anyway. But I'm just thinking like, I for a split second, and I know there was nothing close to goalie interference on the play, but before I saw the replay, I'm thinking, oh my God, we're not in it for a review, are we? We're not going to have the Oilers celebrating and then be told to settle down because it's going to be looked at. I mean, like that was pretty dramatic too, I thought.
From the view of the watcher on TV, which everybody here would have had unless you were there, way to go. That must.
If you were
cool.
there, you got to get in touch.
Yeah, please do. No. You couldn't see the puck go in the net. You saw Leon Draisaitl's hands go in the air.
Yeah.
But immediately, you saw all those Vegas Golden Knights standing around the net, sulking. They knew.
Yeah.
And they knew nothing was done wrong. Nothing was, questionable. They knew that they were beat. So as soon as that happened, that sequence of events, my wife was, are you sure it's a goal? Are you sure it's a goal? I'm like, yes, look at them. This is a goal. This counts. It was like when Vegas scored with 0.4 seconds left. They knew that was a goal.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, I mean, what a way to finish. The Oilers are a wagon. They are a train.
Well, 2 consecutive shutouts and good goaltending from Skinner and good team defense. I mean, they're not giving up a ton of chances. So the Oilers are into the West Final. Yeah, 3 times in the last 4 years. How about that? The Oilers have made the NHL's version of the Final Four. We have a lot to get to today. 2 former Oilers and former Capitals are going to join us. Though for Ron Loa was longer ago than Jason Chimera. Those are going to be our guests at 4 and 5 o'clock. Ron Loa at 4, Jason Chimera at 5. We'll have Jay's Play of the Day for Play Alberta. We will go over some of the clips from last night, some key comments from Chris Knobloch and from Connor McDavid, who got a little testy with a couple of questions. And I must say, I don't think I can blame him. But we'll dive into that when we get to the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel. We'll have some fun stuff with the Oilers' overtime history. I think you can ask me the question Hernan was going over. Because I don't think I didn't hear, I was able to block him out in time. Okay. It's rare I would ever want to block out Hernan about anything, especially when he's singing. But you were going to ask me a trivia. You told me the question ahead of time so I could prep for it because it'd be one of those impossible to get if you just threw it at me. So we'll do that. We'll still do that one.
Okay.
And I have some other overtime stats as well that'll be fun to get to. We're happy to hear from you. Of course, you can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tell you what, I already got a couple limericks. Let's do Bronco Knicks first today. Oilers move on. What an emotion. Leafs Nation, boom, what an implosion. Time to repose. As the other series close, I love to see Charles Barkley's devotion. That's very good from Bronco Nick.
Did you see that? Did
Yes.
you see Charles Barkley?
I saw some video. I didn't see any audio of it.
They were in the middle of showing highlights on the TNT postgame show, and Barkley, they did it! They scored in overtime! He's like, I told you! And Ernie was like, do you mind waiting until we're done with these highlights?
That's awesome.
Hey, look what we got. I don't know if anybody can see, but the Wolf brought in, what are these timepieces?
I think they're pocket watches.
Pocket
they
watches,
are timepieces, yes.
For what is now taken over this station, Reid.
Okay, yeah.
As the gentleman's sweep. Are you going to embrace it, or are you going to?
No, I will never
you're
embrace
gonna
the
fight
gentleman's
it. You're
sweep.
going to fight it.
I'm not fighting. There's nothing to fight.
Oh, you're
It's
fighting.
not
it.
a thing.
No, but you are fighting.
I'm not fighting something that doesn't exist.
Can you at least acknowledge?
Am I going to fight Sasquatch?
See, I don't.
Is there a Bigfoot waiting for me in the parking lot?
Who knows? TBD. I'm not as. I'll embrace it a bit, especially when the Wolf brought these.
Well,
by.
these are fun though.
This has a horse on the front. I wish we could zoom in, but I'm wearing it around my neck. I know you're supposed to wear it
you're
around
supposed
your
to kind of have it off your
pocket.
belt or be a belt into your
But
pocket.
for the sake of the show, can you at least admit that you are comfortable fighting it?
Can I admit that I am comfortable fighting it?
Yes.
First of all, not these pocket watches.
No,
these are
not
very
these.
generously dropped off.
These
by
are
the
very
Wolf.
nice. From it, they're actual timepieces.
Am I comfortable being right about the foolishness of calling a 5-game series a gentleman's sweep? Yes, I'll admit I'm comfortable about being correct.
Well, then okay. Then you're at least acknowledging the gentleman's sweep.
I'm acknowledging the Oilers won a series in 5 games, which is not called a gentleman's sweep.
Will you acknowledge will you at least acknowledge the gentleman's sweep? That it is something.
No, it's not anything.
Well, it is something.
No,
Clearly
it
it
isn't.
is. They did
No,
a
it
whole
isn't.
3 hours on
No,
it
it
this
isn't.
morning. Look at the nasty chat.
No, it isn't.
Eric had 2 bottles of wine on the morning show.
Well, so down from 3?
Yeah, it's usually 1 an hour.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I just, if you can't beat it, join
I
it.
acknowledge that 2 guys at our station who I love and respect have made it a shtick. I do not acknowledge that it's a real sports thing.
But you acknowledge it's a shtick.
So let me ask you this.
No, stop.
If it's a best of 3 series, that is decided in the 3rd game, is that a gentleman's sweep? It's either an actual sweep or a gentleman's sweep. How'd you guys do in that best of 3? Oh, gentlemen swept them. Oh, really? It went down to a deciding game.
2-1, huh?
Making Gager laugh, which is really, that actually
great.
makes my day.
Well, Lingus says, would you acknowledge a 1,500 thumb show for the gentleman's sweep?
I would acknowledge a 1,500 thumb show. That
For
doesn't
the
make-
gentleman's
that-
sweep.
For the, what?
So it would be like the fun run for.
I'm not compromising my belief in that this is a silly term for
But you
a
acknowledge
5-game
it-
series.
You acknowledge it's a shtick.
Yes. I acknowledge it's
okay.
I
All
acknowledge
right.
they made
We're
a shtick,
breaking down the walls.
but a shtick is not reality.
We're breaking down the walls.
Okay, I'm gonna give everybody a little look behind the curtain here. The bookbinder is not a real person, kids.
Whoa, stop.
That's a shtick. Okay?
Stop. Pulling back the curtain a little too far.
That's okay. Anyway, email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. You can talk with us and with other nasties in the nasty chat on YouTube. And if you are taking us in on YouTube, let's keep our postseason streak going of having minimum 200 thumbs up shows. So hit the thumbs up button, give us a like.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb,
All right.
thumb, thumb.
And of course, you can text as well. 780-218-9999 is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. All right. Who's posting as Edmonton Sports Talk?
Dusty.
Oh, Dusty. Blasphemous and not very gentlemanly. Then he says, Reid, there are kids watching. Oh, because I peeled the curtain back a little bit.
Yeah. Like, what do you? I don't even want to know what you're capable of letting come out. You know, there are kids.
So I'm capable of quite a bit.
Well, we better watch you around the holiday season. Let's just put it that way. Okay, you want to do that one too?
I might do that one someday. I'm going to do that one. Yeah.
You wouldn't. My kids watch. Like right now, they're going to be getting off the bus in 20 minutes. They turn it on. Couldn't.
Justin of Belgoni says a gentleman's sweep suggests a dominant performance where the winning team controls the series but allows the losing team a single victory, possibly as a gesture of courtesy or sportsmanship. Okay, that's the only sort of definition I accept, but that does not apply to this series. That does not apply to the Oilers or Golden Knights, or quite frankly, probably any series at the professional level.
Will you acknowledge it if the Oilers go on to the Stanley Cup Finals and win 4-1?
No.
You'd have to.
Oh, there's a gentleman's sweep in the Stanley Cup Final.
Well,
like,
yeah,
this
there
is. This is so absurd. It's not even funny.
I think a lot of people find it funny. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one.
At the NHL level, a team thinks, "Hey guys, we better let them win a game." Again, if you and I,
what if they have a gentleman's
agreement? You and I are playing the St. Vincent School for Poorly Coordinated Boys, and we're up 3-0 in the best of 7. And Game 4 is in the
let them have one.
It's in the the gym, the St. Vincent's gym. You know, the clumsy dome, they call it.
Are they the Panthers?
the St. Vincent's School for Poorly Coordinated Boys. I don't know if they're the Panthers. What would they be? The Klutzes? So and if Game 4 is in their gym, and like it's basketball, and you and I, it's just you and I against the 5 of them. And like we won the first 3 games by like 80 points each. We were like, you know what, Jay? Let's give them a win on their home court.
I'd be all for it.
Then we'll take them back to the the outdoor court on your acreage, and then we'd win it in Game 5. At that level, it might apply.
See, so hey, baby steps. This is an acknowledgement. Those poor boys from St. Vincent's.
St. Vincent's.
They keep getting the raw end of the deal here on the Reid Wilkins
Just dribble, Jablonski! One dribble! I'm poorly coordinated, coach. I can't help it. Anyway, 780-218-9999 is indeed the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. I'll tell you what. If we get to 1,500 thumbs up, I will do the last 5 minutes of the show in the character of a gentleman that Eric and Dustin were doing this morning.
Oh boy.
With the pocket wall. I'll do word of the day. I'll do the words of the day in the gentleman. We have to get to 1,500 thumbs up.
There it is.
That's the thing. So you better tell people to get in and click, everybody. 1,500 thumbs. Our show record is 353. So we almost have to quintuple it.
Yeah.
If the Nasties can rally enough people to go in and click that we get to 1,500 thumbs, I will not acknowledge a gentleman's sweep in the NHL, but I will do the gentlemanly characters that they were doing this morning.
And sing Pink Pony Club in the gentleman's character.
That's a little much. Because I don't know the lyrics except for
I would help you.
for I dance at the Pink Pony Club.
Yeah,
or
we can just do the chorus.
Which, by the way, leads us into our off-topic topic, Jay. For William Huff, since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. So the Oilers, now I did not know this song existed until it started being talked about, that was the Oilers' victory song they play in the dressing room after games. Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan. Is that the name of the artist?
Yeah.
It's not Chappelle. Chapel Roan. So I'm not going to get into this song and its history and what it may or may not be about. I think that's for other people to discuss. But I do want to know this. Jay and I want to know this. What was the victory song of a team you played on or play on? Did the Golden Bears football team have one that they would play after games?
No, but the Edmonton Wildcats did.
And can you say what it was?
I can sing it for you.
Do it.
So the head coach would come in and he'd say, well, here we go. And you'd say as a team, well, here we go.
Well, here we go.
We're at it again.
We're at it again.
We're moving up.
We're moving up.
We're moving in.
We're moving in.
Well, here we go.
Well, here we go.
We're at it again.
Okay.
We're moving up. We're moving in.
This was a
victory,
a team-specific victory song.
And then you'd have the second verse.
But it wasn't like a rock. It wasn't a pop
it wasn't
or
a
rock.
song on a thing. It was we sang it.
Interesting. So I was thinking, like, did a team after the game play "Welcome to the Jungle"?
No, we stood on the bench.
We are the champions, or
we
whatever.
Stood on our seats in the lockers and sang it, and it would get quite descriptive in the second verse about the team we were playing
in a perhaps derogatory,
very derogatory,
insulting, and disgusting way.
Derogatory, insulting, and disgusting.
Yes. So we won't do a second verse.
We can't.
We can do one on the gentleman's sweep, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, we sang a song. I'm sure there's other teams out there that have a specific song they sing.
Yeah, I want to know, what was your team's victory song? This could be, we might have some people listening who played, I don't know if they played in the NHL, Gage or played in the NHL, maybe played minor pro or played in Europe.
Well, what was the song that the Blues had there?
We might have former. I know we have former CFL guys, former Elks listen to the show.
Yeah,
I know we have current Elks sometimes listen to the show. We certainly have a lot of men and women who played rec league, beer league, high school sports, youth sports, ACAC, whatever. Did your team have sort of a unique victory song, or what was the victory song you guys played in the dressing room after a win? That's what we want to know.
I think it's a great topic. I think we're going to get a lot of response.
Well, I certainly hope so, Jay. By the way, we're at 103 thumbs, 1/15 of the way there, and the show is 1/9 over. You're going to have to pick up your pace.
Oh, wow. Quick math. Wow, look at you go.
All right. Oh, my goodness. It's too much fun working here. It's really incredible. The Oilers have advanced. Skinner has 2 straight shutouts. The unlikely overtime hero last night, Kasperi Kapanen. We're going to talk about some Oilers overtime fun facts when we get back. But first, a slice of the Coob.
Winnipeg and Washington are on the brink of elimination entering Game 5 tonight. Caps and Canes drop the puck at 5 with the Jets battling the Stars at 7:30. While overseas, Canada beat Austria 5-2. Nathan McKinnon with 2 goals as Canada stays undefeated at the tournament. They get back in action Saturday against Slovakia. Meanwhile, former Oilers Sam Gagner has officially announced his retirement. He'll be joining the Senators as the team's director of player development. In the OHL, the final continues for Game 5 between the Knights and Generals. London up 3-1 in that series, looking to take it all. On the court, the Nuggets look to stave off elimination in Game 6 against the Thunder. The winner of that series moves on to play the Timberwolves in the conference final. MLB action has Toronto down 6-3, trailing the Rays midway through the 8th inning. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Addison Barger, Nathan Lukes, all recording runs for Toronto. The Reid Wilkins Show rolls on once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
You know, we hadn't seen Edmonton and Vegas both play their best game. And I would still argue, I don't think that was Edmonton's best game. I don't think it was their best game of the series, but that was Vegas playing their best and that they were throwing everything they could at it defensively and trying to offensively. And Edmonton was just able to lock it down.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Spin to win Fridays at The Banquet. Every Friday, spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. It's that easy. Spin, win, and save. Don't miss out. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Time out, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, the Edmonton Oilers are into the Western Conference Final. 2 overtime wins against the Vegas Golden Knights to help them win that series in 5. So tonight, Carolina at Washington. A road win puts Carolina into the East Final. Are you trying to hypnotize me with that watch? I guess that's how it always is. They always use a pocket watch when they hypnotize somebody. Good. Oh, actually, that's not how it sounds. Hang on. It's like, look at my pocket watch. Good. You're feeling very sleepy. Good. Tell me about your emotions now.
Good. I can feel your anger.
You should have thrown in a "Let's go, girl."
Well, I could do that.
Let's go, girl.
Yeah, I always thought it's always some sort of a pocket watch. Like they'll do like a scene in Star Trek in the future to hypnotize somebody. It's like, number 1, get me my 18th century pocket watch. We have like, you can just literally fire a beam into his head.
There's a watch
Captain.
on your wrist, man.
Yeah, Picard, you can literally just fire a beam into someone's head now and hypnotize them. No, number 1, I must use my pocket watch from my winery in France. All right. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Games tonight. The Carolina Hurricanes can advance with a road win over Washington. Dallas can advance with a road win over Winnipeg. Tomorrow, Florida can advance with a home ice win over Toronto. So maybe by tomorrow night, about 9 o'clock Mountain, the 4 teams for the conference finals are set. Or maybe we're going to go into the long weekend to ultimately decide what happens. Like, we don't know when the Oilers series is going to start because we don't even know when the Dallas-Winnipeg series is going to end. The Oilers will start on the road, right? Because they do not have home ice advantage. Here's an interesting note. If Carolina and Florida both win, the Western Conference champion will have home ice in the Stanley Cup final. The Oilers finished ahead of both Carolina and Florida. And obviously Dallas and Winnipeg did. So just a side note there. So, it's possible the Oilers could have not have had home ice advantage and then make the Stanley Cup final and then have home ice advantage. Jay and I are camped out in the Banquet studio, craving a late night snack. Check out the Banquet's new late night happy hour menu, Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. until close. Enjoy favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or the Banquet burger at happy hour prices. The Banquet, get real, play hard. The off-topic topic was what song did your team play in the dressing room, in the locker room after a victory? Are we getting any interesting submissions? Big Uke says they used to play Conga by Gloria Estefan. Oh, that'd be pretty fun. Come on, shake your body, baby, do the Conga. Sobkirk, Bang a Gong, Get It On was our men's soccer team win song.
That's a good tune.
Hubcap Diamond Star Halos, baby.
Grumpy Cat, our men's league team, big team, great team, plays Glory Hole by Steel Panther after wins.
Oh, my God. Oh, you really had to go there with Steel Panther, eh? Do you know about Steel Panther?
Is it a good band?
No, I'm not going to make fun of you. Do you know about Steel Panther?
No.
Okay. Side note, everybody.
Is this a
Steel Panther is a satirical band.
Like they made a documentary about it?
No, they're real. They put out albums. They're actually they're pretty good musicians, and they both replicate and mock 80s rock. So they make incredibly filthy songs and incredibly NSFW songs, not safe for work songs. Like if you play somebody a Steel Panther song, you sort of have to like look around and be like, "Yeah, I got to play you this."
Oh,
they have their most famous song, as far as I know, and I saw them live at where did they play? Somewhere in Edmonton. What's the Thunderdome now? Is that Union Hall?
Yes,
might have been there. I can't remember. It was a few years ago. Their most famous song is a ballad called "Community Property." We will listen to it later, Jason. Okay, but it's composed, like it's the melody and the way it's put together. If it had quote unquote normal lyrics, like it would have been a #1 hit for 5 weeks in 1986.
So it's like Weird Al Yankovic meets 80s glam rock?
Yeah, well, they don't do...
Meets Wheeler Walker Jr.?
They don't do direct spoofs of other songs.
Right.
Like, they're all original songs, but there might be one like, oh, this is supposed to sound like this. This is supposed to sound like this. For me, like, it's a fun shtick. It's fun how they sort of take 80s rock to this almost perverse level. For me, it got old after a while. It's like, okay, I heard it was funny the first 20 times. I'm not sure it's funny the 21st time, sort of thing. But they've sort of made a career out of it, and they're pretty good musicians. Like they're all, I think they all do stuff in quote unquote normal bands. So that's a little bit on Steel Panther.
Have you heard Wheeler Walker Jr.?
I think you've played me some of his stuff, and I believe he uses some profanity in his songs.
Maybe he's the country version of Steel Panther.
That's what Big Uke just said.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that. He did just say that.
Yes, he just put that in there. You read your mind. Anyway, so we'll play that for you after the show, perhaps.
I'm kind of excited.
You are going to howl in laughter. There's no doubt about that.
Dave the Welder says in midget hockey, they played Another One Bites the Dust. And they won the league with it.
Oh, really?
Queen?
Another One Bites the Dust.
Yeah.
We Are the Champions, another Queen song that would get played. Maybe even We Will Rock You could be a victory song too. Queen likes the sports anthems.
Wow, you're really getting a lot of commentary on your not believing in the gentleman's agreement.
Okay.
A gentleman's sweep. Lucky Charlie says, you know what else isn't real? Reid?
What?
Comic books, superheroes, Star Trek, Star Wars, etc. What say you?
Well, I'd say those are fictional worlds that are an art form, that are a form of art that I like to consume. They're not made up terms that people try to pass off as reality. I don't try to come into work and say, guys, I just saw Spider-Man swinging. He's fighting the Rhino 2 blocks away. Oh, you just missed it.
Oh, the Rhino.
Okay.
There are people like Haas. I'm 100% on Reid's side. There's no such thing as a gentleman's sweep.
I just want to know where it started. Like, who started saying this? It is not a thing. I don't know if I ever heard of it until maybe in the last 5 years. Like, nobody, when I was a kid, I didn't watch Howie Meeker and have him saying that's a gentleman's sweep, you know? I don't remember Brian Hall saying,
well, they didn't sweep him, but that's a gentleman's sweep. You know, what do they call it? That's a gentleman's sweep.
Nobody says that. Nobody. Do you think in Vegas they're saying we got gentlemen swept? No, they're not saying that.
Maybe they are.
They aren't.
Maybe they are. Maybe that's all they got. Well, at least it was a gentleman's sweep. Jeremy the Surveyor says there's no Sasquatch outside, but there is a gentleman Bigfoot. And Timber Woodsman does write in and says that a gentleman's sweep is in the Urban Dictionary.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot in the Urban Dictionary. Well, what's the definition then?
I'll tell you. When a team wins a playoff series but loses one game in the series, a team is said to have let the other team win one game before sweeping them. That's the gentleman's
And again,
sweep.
that's not what happened in this series.
TBD, bro.
All right. The Edmonton Oilers 1-0 overtime games in the playoffs. They had one on April 25th, 1997 against Dallas. Went to double overtime. Do you know who got the game winner for the Oilers?
Sorry.
I'll give you a hint.
Wait, I was reading the nasty chat. What'd you say?
The Oilers, in terms of having games ending 1-0 in the playoffs.
Oh.
They won one on April 25th, 1997 at Dallas. Do you know who got the goal?
Was that Todd Marchand?
I'll give you a hint. It was the style of goal scored by the guy.
Mitty?
Yes, but it was from the outside. It was like a one that leaked through Andy Moog.
Right.
May 11th, 1998, the Oilers lost 1-0 to Dallas in overtime. Benoit Hogue with the game winner.
Who could forget?
And May 21st, 2021, in that loss to the Winnipeg Jets, where they were swept in 4 straight by Winnipeg, but 3 games went to overtime. Game 2 in Edmonton ended 1-0. Paul Stastny got the game winner. Some fun facts for everybody today. The Oilers have turned around their overtime fortunes in the McDavid-Draisaitl era. They have now won 5 consecutive overtime games.
Okay, can I just say something? Because you said this earlier. When was it that you sent that out to the group? It was early in the LA series?
Yep.
That you said
They were 5-11 in overtime.
Yeah.
Now they're 8-11.
Look at that, eh?
Yeah. And they've won 5 consecutive overtime games because this was a poor playoff overtime team. Now they've actually won 6 of their last 7 overtime games, going back to when Hyman scored. So that they had that series with LA in 2023 when games 2, 3, and 4 all went to overtime. And LA won games 2 and 3 to go up 2-1 in the series. And then the Oilers were down 3-0 in game 4. Jack Campbell came into net after the first period. The Oilers tied it. Hyman won it in overtime. Last year, they lost a game in the first round to LA in overtime, beat Vancouver in game 2 last year, beat Dallas in game 1, and then this year beat LA in game 4, Vegas in game 2, and then Vegas in game 5 last night. So they've now won 5 consecutive overtime games to get to 8-11 since 2017, since the McDavid-Draisaitl era started. Oh, just random fun fact for you.
Very good. Do you want me to throw something at you?
I would love something.
You want that? You like that?
Yes.
Okay. And I know they went over this on EST Afternoons with Hernan and Joaquin, but I screamed when they were doing it so you couldn't hear.
Right.
I wanted to
and
ask
the answers I heard, I knew already.
You knew. So there's been 7 Oilers that have clinched a series in overtime. 7 Oilers.
Okay.
Obviously, Kasperi Kapanen is one. Who else you got, Reid? Throw them at me.
Okay, so I got to get the 6 other times which Oiler ended the series with an overtime goal.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm quite sure about 3 of these, and then I'm kind of sure about another one. Connor McDavid, Game 5, Calgary, 2022. It's good I'm getting the ding now because I'm sure I won't for word of the day later.
TBD.
Like Tuba guy just sits over there and glares at me all afternoon, just as if he's gonna blow into it. Then he backs off.
He's kind of a nuisance.
Keeps looking at me all menacingly.
Real messy eater.
By the way, keep hitting the thumbs up on YouTube, everybody. We want to get to 155 in the first hour, and then build to 200 from there.
We want to get to 1,500.
We want to get to 1,500. It's not going so well for you, Nasties. Esa Tikkanen, Game 7, Calgary, 1991. Todd Marchand, Game 7, Dallas, 1997. Okay, so I've got 4 out of the 7 counting last night, right?
Yes.
I want to say Craig McTavish, Game 6, Los Angeles, 1991. Second round, I believe. Can't remember. I think there was a Joe Murphy goal. But was it against Vancouver or LA?
It was game 4 of the 1990 divisional final.
Okay, I think that was LA. To sweep them. To end a series. So I'm struggling with the 7th one. There hasn't been one since this was there wasn't one in 2006. There wasn't the one over Colorado in 98. So I'm missing something from maybe one of the cup years. Man, oh man, this is tough. I'm trying to think who they played, what games were close.
Do you want a hint?
Yes.
What kind of hint do you want? Do you want who they were playing?
Sure.
Okay, it was against the LA Kings.
It was another one against the Kings.
And it was in LA.
Okay, so it was probably 84 or 85.
But who was it?
But who was it in which year? So it would have been. So it was a best of 3 then.
That's right.
It was a best of 3 in the first round. Was it Leaf Fogelin?
No.
Was it Randy Gregg?
No.
Okay. Pat Hughes?
No.
Okay, I don't know. Well, Gretzky?
No, but
Curry?
No. Keep going
Anderson.
down the list.
Okay. So Anderson to help them sweep a 3-game series. Which year was it? 84 or 85?
85.
85. Okay. So there are the 7 Oilers who have ended a series with an overtime goal. Anderson, Marchand, Murphy, McTavish, Kapanen, Tikkanen, and McDavid. Pretty cool list. And 2 of them in Game 7 overtime, right? Tikkanen and Marchand, both on the road. How many of those were at home then? Just the MacT one, I think. That might have been the only one at home. McDavid was in Calgary. Tikkanen was in Calgary. Kapanen was in Vegas. Murphy, I think, was on the road. Marchand was in Dallas. Anderson, you said, McTavish might have been the only one at home.
Crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, overtime fun facts. Take those to your colleagues this afternoon.
Father Mallard of Forest Heights writes in the nasty chat, I have just been dispatched from a contentious meeting where there was little gentlemanly about it. Has the song of the thumb clicking been put through the audio rotation as of yet?
Sure, we can do it now.
Click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right, Ron Lowe is coming up at the top of the hour. We always enjoy his perspective. He will check in. We have Jay's play of the day for Play Alberta when we get back. Here comes the Coop.
Two games dot the NHL slate. Hurricanes and Capitals open things up at 5 o'clock. Carolina looking to close out the series up 3-1. After that, the Stars and Jets drop the puck in Game 5. Winnipeg on the brink of elimination. Overseas, Canada got past Austria 5-1. Nathan McKinnon potting 2 goals for Canada. Slovakia and Canada duke it out on Saturday. In Game 5, Knights Generals goes in the OHL Championship Series. London with the stranglehold up 3-1. And in the QMJHL, Moncton looks to sweep in the final against Rimouski to take it all. Basketball has just one contest. The Thunder look to strike against the Nuggets to take the series in 6 games. Tip-off for that one goes at 6:30. Meanwhile, in baseball, Toronto is down 8-3 against Tampa Bay in the bottom of the 9th inning during the series closer, with the Jays back in action tomorrow against the Tigers. Later today, we see the Astros meet the Rangers. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at AdvantageSportMed.com. jaysplay.ca to book an appointment today. Jay's Play of the Day for Play Alberta brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses? Chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc, we're the experts you need to know. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Really appreciate you tuning in. Man, oh man, and at least one more round. Postseason fun here for the Edmonton Oilers as they rallied from the 2-0 win, or the 2-0 deficit, to beat the LA Kings in round one, and then a 5-game victory over the Vegas Golden Knights. The miserable bastards, as I have often dubbed them. Probably feeling quite miserable today. You know, after the LA series, I mean, we picked apart some things about the Kings, specifically the coaching. Is there a part of Vegas's game or decision-making where you say, oh, they blew it? Or did they just play really hard and get beat straight up?
No, I don't. I didn't see anything. I mean, it started with the Hiller challenge in the King series.
Right.
Totally unnecessary. Fuel to the fire. And then the not playing their depth players. Kempe to defense. I mean, those were things that were easy to point out.
Right.
I don't know if you could. And I mean, let's face it. One of the team's leaders was not playing last night in Mark Stone.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Whether Pietrangelo was 100%, McNabb, right? So, but I didn't see anything that would suggest that, you know, this was coaching error. I just think the Oilers outplayed him, plain and simple. And Reid, I'm telling you, the most beautiful thing about this for Oilers fans is that it's the 5-on-5 game that's beating them.
Right.
And it was the 5-on-5 game that beat LA. For Oilers fans, this should be very positive because that power play will kick in at some point. It will. And when you have 5-on-5 play that is creating as much offense as it is, add to that a 40%, 50% power play. That's a recipe for success, no?
Yeah. So for Vegas in the series, Riley Smith 2 goals, Stone 2 goals, Carlson 2, Olofsson 2, Pietrangelo 1, Nick Waugh 1. So the Golden Knights had 6 different goal scorers in the series. Hurdle 0 goals, Barbashev 0, Eichel 0, even though he was excellent. Then you get Dorofeev, who only played 3 games, 0 goals. Hanifin, who's a good defenseman, 2 points, though he was +4. Shea Theodore wound up -7 in the series. But I think you're right, Jay. Like the Oilers,
they're winning in
the Oilers
way.
legitimately beat them. Like they legitimately beat them. And yes, they got a break in overtime for sure on the non-call in game 2. But then you look at how games 4 and 5 went, and the last 2 periods of game 1. The Oilers legitimately outplayed them or outlasted them at a game that Vegas has proven in the past they've been comfortable playing and been able to win doing. And the Oilers went out there and did that. And of course, Leon and Connor got points, but as we've talked about so much, it wasn't, okay, the Oilers have an advantage when one or both of those guys is on the ice, and then they just got to hang on when they're not on the ice. Other lines asserted themselves. And we're going to hear a clip from Knobloch about the depth when we do the Oil Understood a little bit later on. But here's the thing. It was comfort. And I'm sure people as viewers, you know what it's like, Jay. A player takes the ice. How do you feel? Do you feel good? Do you feel neutral? Or do you feel like, oh my God, just don't screw up? I don't think there was anybody who was like that for the Oilers. Even Bouchard, with all his trauma and struggles throughout parts of the regular season with turnovers and bad defending, I got to the point where it's like, no, he's cool. He'll be fine. He'll handle it. He can have the play he made on Stone in overtime. When that first popped up, that was a potential nightmare. Great. He has to try to check Mark Stone along the wall. Well, Bouchard's not a banger. Just angled them off, hit the puck around the boards, and they went and scored at the other end. So that's the thing. I don't know if there's a line or a D pairing that you can put on the Oilers. Certainly some players are better than others, but I don't know if there's a line or a D pairing or a single player that would be on the ice for the Oilers right now where a fan, people can tell us, maybe we're missing somebody, where fans might say, I just don't trust this guy. I just don't think he's going to make the right play. I'm not sure if he's committed enough or if he's got the hockey savvy or the playoff intensity. I think everybody is committed. Everybody's focused and dialed in.
That is crazy to think that. Considering what this team looked like at times during the regular season.
Yeah.
Right? Even in games 1 and 2 of round 1. And now you, Reid Wilkins, are suggesting, name a player. Name a player that you'd say, that player should sit out next game. Try somebody else.
Yeah.
Name one.
And that's the crazy thing about hockey, and maybe what separates playoff hockey, and we were talking about this the other day, more from the postseason and other sports, is that there's just that something extra about it. I was praising the Leafs for how rugged and committed they've been playing. They folded last night. Let's face it. They still might win the series. I don't know, but that was not a playoff caliber performance last night from the Leafs.
What was that?
Right? There's something you got to give and have. And that's why, we often say, make the playoffs, have good habits during the regular season. I'm not suggesting throwing the regular season away or ignoring it. You got to build good habits and bank enough points. But then in the NHL, something is just different in the playoffs, right? And the way the Oilers played last night, you could not play that way in the regular season. Because you almost need an opponent to be at that level too.
You need a willing partner.
Yeah,
you do. It takes 2 to tango in that game,
right? And you don't want. Not just McDavid threw himself in a cup in front of. Even remember that one putt Colson threw himself in front of.
Yeah.
And then I think it was one of the games here in Edmonton, and Skinner actually started tapping his stick on the ice. So the puck went even that, even some of your depth forwards, I don't know if I want his face in front of every shot, but it's just total. It's just a total different level of commitment, and the Oilers are doing it.
I don't want to pick the nit too hard here.
You should, though. It's fun.
But it is fun. And what you just said, name an Oiler. Give me an Oiler that you think, you You know who the only, and this is crazy. This is a sign of a team that is playing very well. Nuge.
Well, you'd like more offense still, I guess.
Wouldn't you? But that's the only one when I'm looking through these forwards anyways, not going into the defense. But we could go there if you want, because tell me who.
But what I'm saying is,
that's a good thing to have.
He's still making responsible plays.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like it's the old take the hit to make the play. They're all doing that.
You would desire more offensively from the Nuge.
Like, it's not as if, sometimes you watch a game and it's like, this team has 14 guys who are all in, and they got 4 guys who are playing chicken crap hockey and won't take a hit to make a play, and that's going to kill them. I don't think there's any of that with the Oilers. Okay, time for Jay's Play of the Day. This is always fun. It's presented by Play Alberta. Experience all the excitement of the casino in the palm of your hand. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 using the EST exclusive promo code 100casino for a $100 casino bonus.
Okay, we're going to stay in the association. Went there last night. Didn't work out. I thought we were in it. I thought like the New York Knicks had the lead going into halftime. But Boston came out and ultimately beat them. But, the odds were there. This one is another one that the odds are there. It's been boosted. So we're going to OKC visiting the Denver Nuggets. I put together a little same game parlay here, and they boosted it. And they boosted it quite well.
Oh, neat.
So we're going over 214.5 points. And we're getting the Nuggets to cover a 4.5 point spread.
Okay.
So over 214.5, Nuggets plus 4.5. That was boosted to plus 230 at playalberta.ca. So head on over to playalberta.ca. Check out the EST specials. There's the early bird bet, which has some Winnipeg, I guess, combinations. Dusty's Play of the Day. Him and I are in lockstep on this. He's got Jokic over 51.5 points, assists, rebounds. The lock shot parlay is a Winnipeg Jets to win and Nikola Jokic to go 29 plus points. So everybody's kind of riding with Denver here.
Okay.
And then you'll see Jay's Play of the Day. And if you haven't yet, these promotions only go till the end of the month. So if you haven't yet, get on it. Deposit $20 or more for a $100 free bet on sports. This is usable for new and existing players when you use the promo code 100sports. If sports isn't your thing, deposit 20 or more and get a $100 casino bonus. Usable for new and existing players using promo code 100casino. So that's Jay's Play of the Day. OKC at Denver over 214.5, and the Nuggets plus 4.5.
All right. So playalberta.ca. You know where to find it under EST specials. Ron Lowe will have some perspective on the Oilers beating the Golden Knights when we bring you back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne on Edmonton
The
Sports
Lock
Talk.
Shop. Jersey on the ice, 2 of them, I think, last night. Fans lining up, had to wait to get out of the building with 10 left. Florida Panthers players laughing on the ice in the third. First of all, there's zero chance they can recover to win game 6 and 7. What are you supposed to do there right now?
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that Mitch Marner probably played his last game as a Leaf on home ice last night.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Washington hits the ice, or Carolina hits the ice in Washington for Game 5. Canes up 3-1 in the series before Winnipeg hosts Dallas as the Stars look to close out the series in 5 games. In Canada and Austria went at it today. Canada getting past them by a score of 5-1. Nathan McKinnon potting 2 goals for the Canadians, and the Canadians get back in action Saturday against Slovakia. 2 championship series can end tonight. London holds Oshawa 3-1 entering Game 5 of the OHL Finals, while Rimouski looks to avoid the sweep in the QMJHL Championship Series. The lone NBA game tonight has Denver and OKC tipping off at 6:30 with the Nuggets down 3-2 in that series. Winner of that one goes on to play Minnesota. And for the Jays, they fell 8-3 to the Rays. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Addison Barger, and Nathan Lukes with Toronto's 3 runs. Jays and Tigers kick off their series tomorrow. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Okay, hope you're having a great afternoon. Yes, Oil Country getting amped up for the Western Conference Final. We do not know when it's going to start. Of course, we don't even know who the Oilers are going to play, but the Oilers will be in it. Maybe a rematch against Dallas, maybe an all-Canadian showdown against the Winnipeg Jets. Either way, the Oilers are going to be a pretty tough out. You can email limericks to reid@edmontonsportstalk.com. Jeff in YYZ writing in a limerick. Game 5, a defensive delight. Skinner's net was simply locked tight. Cap joined 6 other Oil, whose OT clinchers did foil, while Vegas fades into the night.
Well done.
Pretty good.
I should note this out, Reid, that the Grand Est or the Grand EST parlay is massive today. They cook up some special ones.
Is it? I didn't even look at that one yet. Let me look now.
It's plus 2,100.
Oh my goodness!
If you bet $1, you win 21. So
the Dodgers and A's have to score over 9.5 runs. Velarde has to have 2 or more shots on goal. Was it Blake? Was it Jackson Blake for the Hurricanes? I always forget his first name. Blake for the Hurricanes has to have 2 or more shots on goal. Charles Leclerc, is it Leclerc or Leclerc?
Charles?
Yeah. How do you say it?
Leclerc?
This is F1?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
Top 3 in first bracket.
Yeah, I only know like 3 F1 drivers.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Okay.
And Reid, really good point here that came in on the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. McLean says, I'd go one further. This is in respect to our conversation we had about who wouldn't you trust right now as an Oiler fan in the lineup. He says, I'd go one further. There's a goalie, D-man, and forwards that I would feel comfortable coming in to the lineup.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Andrew, the accountant, says the Oilers are also doing this with $13 million in the press box. Arvidsson, Skinner, and Ekholm.
Yeah. And Ekholm obviously injured, but yeah, good point. 780-218-9999. Those texts coming into the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. It's always a pleasure to welcome this gentleman to our stream, former Oilers player and coach. Well, we had him on a couple weeks ago when we were in Terwilliger for the Hockey Helps the Homeless event. It is Ron Lowe checking in. Ron, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing today?
Well, we're doing very well. Happy times in Oil Country, as I'm sure you can imagine. I'm sure you've been out in your neighborhood today experiencing the joy of the victory. I'm going to dive right in here, Ron. You know, last night's game, incredibly tense, incredibly tight checking. When you were watching that game, was there a point where you thought to yourself, okay, it's going to end 1-0?
You know what? I think after the second period, you were pretty much sitting there going, "This is not going to be much doing here." I mean, that was a shutdown by both teams, and like really, really, really sound defensive hockey. Well, everybody, you know, it was kind of an exciting game in the fact that there were some chances, and at the same time, defense was stifling.
So Kapanen plays the last two games, plays well, gets the game winner last night. Stetcher has come in on the back end and played two pretty good games. You know, you've been there as a coach where you might have capable and enthusiastic players not in the lineup, maybe for an extended period of time. How does a coach, or what does a coach have to do to keep those players feeling good and make them feel like they're still part of the team, even if they're not getting into games?
Well, I think, first of all, your team concept is a team concept. And basically, throughout the whole year, somebody's been sitting, waiting to take a shot should somebody falter. And I don't think that changes in the playoffs at all. I think that Jeff Skinner, a perfect example. I mean, the guy helped us down the stretch get to where we got to. He plays one game, and now he's sitting. And he hasn't said a word. And that's kind of what you expect from teams and teammates if they're all on the same page. And I think that, I mean, the injection, Stetcher just added a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of more puck movement. And Kapanen, man, I was at the game the other night, and in this first shift I went, who is this guy? I mean, that was incredible. I think he had 3 hits in like 18 seconds, and every one was really hard. In fact, I think Vegas players were going, who the hell is this guy?
Ron Lowe joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Ron, you got Jay. You know, Stuart Skinner pitches a 24-save shutout, obviously, but his positioning was spot on. He looked calm. He looked confident. As a former goaltender, walk us through what leads to a performance mentally, physically, like Stu Skinner had last night.
Preparation. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was sitting on the bench the last 5 or 6 games, pulling his hair out. Calvin Pickard, thank God, came in and did an unbelievable job for us. And people, when he got hurt, I mean, I was listening to stuff on the radio, and I'm going, are you guys kidding me? This Skinner guy kind of took us to Game 7 last year and beat out a couple of really, really good goaltenders on the way, and is playing in the National Hockey League by no mistake. I mean, he belongs exactly where he is. And his preparation had to be impeccable. I mean, even in the game at home, I was at that game and I watched it, and he looked solid. Very few times did he end up with his shoulders forward on the ice, which to me, when Stuart's playing good, his shoulders are back, he's up high. And last night, a couple of saves he made on really good chances, he made with his shoulders. And to me, hey, we're really lucky to have 2 guys that don't cost us much money. And anybody that says we've been out goaltended in the last 2 years, I don't see their case at all.
On the coaching staff for the Oilers Stanley Cup winning teams in 1987, 1990, are there any parallels you can draw between those teams that you coached and this current Oilers team?
This team here has a lot of depth, which I think is one of the things that those other 2 teams had. Very stingy defense when we want to be. Very pig-headed at certain times in games when we throw the puck across the offensive blue line on a whim and a prayer. Those things happened to those other 2 teams too. We made a lot of errors at the offensive blue line, but when it came to batten down the hatches, always kind of adhered to especially back then, Muck and Glenn had a theory. If you didn't kind of you had to adhere to the system when your scoring didn't come out. I mean, we beat the Islanders and we beat them 1-0. So, I mean, there you go. The mighty Oilers played an unbelievable defensive game. Kevin McClellan, much like Kapanen, scored the game winner. I mean, so there are some similarities there, but I mean, and both teams, or all three teams, had unbelievable top end talent.
Ron Lowe joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show this afternoon, sharing some thoughts on the Oilers series win over the Vegas Golden Knights. The one thing, and I know we've got a couple comments already from listeners today saying, Reid and Jay, if only they could score on the power play. Was that, I mean, was that, are the Oilers goofing up at all on the power play here, or was that just a Vegas team that didn't want to get beat by the Oilers' man advantage and found a way to stop it?
Well, no, I think you really have to look at the other teams are good. They're really good. And you watch film and you do due diligence. I think one of the things the Oilers could do a little bit more of, I wish they would, is put pucks on net and let those guys that muck around the front bang in rebounds, because even the game-winning goal last night, I mean, it came from pretty much a harmless play. And lots of times in the power play, I think we look for the greatest play, but then if you've got 2 or 3 great players and great passers, should you succeed with that pass across, you get the chance that Leon had twice where he missed the net by a half an inch. Well, those are in, and all of a sudden our power play isn't nearly as bad as what everybody thinks it is. I think that right now, man, it's tough to score out there, and it's tough to score 5-on-4.
All right, I'll end this with this one because we love getting your perspective. And obviously, you know, when you were a coach, your team won some huge. I think the year of the Dallas upset, everybody remembers the Marchand winner, but I think 3 of your 4 wins were in overtime that year. What do you say to the team before overtime starts? I don't know if you do any reminders or you leave the guy to themselves. Leave the guy to themselves. And Knobloch, you know, as he was, but including in overtime, praised for using all 4 lines in overtime as well. Like, do you have to coach patiently in overtime, even though you want to get that one goal and end it?
I personally had a 4-line team, and I wasn't going to win without all 4 lines going, because the only way we competed was we were very physical, and we had some people. We had some skill, and every once in a while, a lot of the times, I mean, Kelly Buchberger scored an overtime goal, one of the best ones ever. Todd Marchand. I mean, yeah, you rely on your secondary scoring probably as much as you do your top end guys, and to remind them of anything when you walk out before an overtime starts would be kind of redundant, because I think you've gone over everything just about that there is. And probably the best thing you can do is say, just go out and score first. And that's kind of the way it has to be, because I don't think there's much tweaking going into an overtime.
All right. Ron, we appreciate it. Love your perspective. I hope it's a couple more rounds here for the Oilers so we can bug you to come on again, because we love talking to you. It was great to see you at Hockey Helps the Homeless. Thank you so much, man. I can tell you're very pleased with that victory last night.
Hey, man, I mean, just let's Dallas and Winnipeg bang each other around for a couple more games. And maybe we'll get some another guy back. Who knows?
Oh, can you imagine getting Ekholm back? Like,
that's kind of funny that where I was going with another guy, but yeah, whatever.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. All right. Thanks, Rod. We appreciate it.
All right, boys. Take care.
Ron Lowe checking in this afternoon. I love talking to Ron because he's seen it all. Played as a goaltender, was an assistant coach, as a head coach. I liked how he explained that about Skinner's shoulders. The little more upright, not leaning forward, like making himself as big as possible, like staying on balance and upright. And you made a great point about a shot. Yeah.
We were talking about it earlier in the bullpen. Who shot that, Reid?
Was that a hurdle shot?
Yeah.
It might have been, yeah.
Yes, and that was labeled for the top corner, and Skinner, like literally the only way you could define it is saved it with his shoulder.
Yeah.
Threw his shoulder into it. And I mean, that was just a beautiful save. He just was dialed in last night. Dialed in. And right after the game, he was talking with Gene Principe on the Sportsnet feed. And he said he was calm all day. He almost had a euphoric feel to him, leading up to the game. Which is pretty neat to say that a goalie can get, almost entranced in a feeling and a vibe that's going to lead to success ultimately.
Yeah. 2 consecutive shutouts. Pretty impressive. Really just the way the Oilers played most of that series was pretty impressive. So well deserved that they advanced to the Western Conference Final. And Ron touched on a lot of the things, just the depth, using 4 lines. Knobloch's going to have a comment on that and how he approaches that. Because let's face it, it'd be tempting to just start overtime with, McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman or Perry. Just say, okay, we're just win it in 40 seconds. I don't have a plan beyond that. We did it on the first shift, but it's a regular hockey game. It's just the stakes of the next goal are a lot higher. But you got to look at it as still, we got to grind down each shift and win each shift and be able to do a little bit of everything. So, and as we mentioned, the Oilers' overtime fortunes have totally turned around over the last couple of years. From basically never winning an overtime game to now they've won 5 in a row.
D-Rock makes a good point in the nasty chat. Goes to show how well he can play when they commit to a team defense game plan.
Yeah, well, that's
a good point.
And that's the thing. I mean, any goaltender will look better with a better defensive team in front of him.
Yeah.
Now, you need your goaltender to make saves. You need him to not let in questionable ones, right, or back-breaking ones. And obviously, as the game went on, and I'm not faulting Hill for the goal he let in, but, in last night's game, 1 goal would have been enough to be a backbreaker. But no, it's a total... Even that, that back check with McDavid and Nugent Hopkins, guys reaching back to get a stick in the lane or tap another guy's stick when he shoots, just anything to disrupt the shot or blocks or anything like that. But again, like I'm saying, that's playoff hockey. And that's the hockey, unfortunately, you can't always play on November 15th or even February 15th sometimes when you're getting closer to the playoffs. Keep clicking that thumbs up button on YouTube. I got to say, you guys have been great. We're 24 away from another 200 thumb show. We want to see how high we can go today. It's Thursday. Oil Country's feeling good. Maybe we can get a show record of over 353, which would be great. But let's get over 200 here right away. Why not?
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
I love how there's that audio of you laughing in the background of that clip.
Somebody wrote in a while ago that they thought that I was laughing just every time the track was played.
Right.
But then they realized that was the original cut.
The original recording.
That's the original.
Live recording.
That's the live OG recording.
What does OG stand for again? Original gangster?
Original gangsta.
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 Not gangster, gangsta.
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 Like you could put that watch around your neck and be like Flava Flav, who was at the game last night.
Yeah, what's his deal?
I don't know. He just walks around.
Does he
wears
live
a
in
big
Vegas?
Clock around his neck and says, Flava Flav.
But he has a clock with hands. It's like a giant pocket watch.
It's like a giant pocket watch.
It's not a digital clock.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That's what I'm going to start wearing.
He just wears an iWatch.
I'm going to wear I'll just wear an iPad with the time of day on it as a necklace.
That would be cool.
Hey, what time is it? This is upside down, but I think I can read it. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You can keep emailing Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com or Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We love we get your limericks there. Do you want to do VRs right now? Might as well.
Yeah, I can do VR. This one's from VR Montenegro, who's going by Vegetarian Risotto Montenegro.
Oh, tasty.
Sounds lovely. The Oilers take Game 5, albeit by a silver. Or, let me start again. Sorry. The Oilers take Game 5, albeit by a sliver. Nasty showed up to celebrate the win. Let's give her. New victory song makes me spew. So this is what the Oil should do. Oh, God. Pink pony in a sack and drown it in a river.
Oh, my goodness. The poor pink pony.
That poor pink pony.
Yeah. Well,
my girls are listening, VR.
Do they like that song?
Well, that's why I've heard this. I've known about this song for months.
Oh, okay.
And oddly enough, they didn't like it at the start. They'd always say, change the channel. Because they love to sing to the songs in the car. Now, it's
quite a tale being told on that song, from what I understand.
I don't even know what it's about. What's it about, Reid? You read the lyrics today. What is it about?
Well, and then I also read what it's about on Wikipedia.
What did you think it's about by reading the lyrics?
Okay, I watched.
Is it a club in LA?
I don't know if it's real or fictional or made up, but it's a girl.
Like, is it a
going
strip
to
club?
dance? I think that's what I thought when I first heard it, but I think it's more that she's just dancing at a club.
Just having a good time dancing.
Yeah, but I think it's I don't know if it's specifically a gay bar or a trans bar or whatever like that.
I see.
So whatever, like it brings that element into it. So I'm just like, I didn't realize this song had anything to do with winning a sporting event, and then I'm like, oh, it doesn't. It's just a song.
Turns out it does not.
It's just a song. Well, not just a song, but that's what it's about.
I guess.
Apparently, I could be totally missing the point.
I mean,
I'm probably the last person who should be trying to explain the content of that song.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You probably are.
Probably the last person who should be doing a lot of things, maybe even hosting a talk show.
I wouldn't go that far.
By the way, Jay and I are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Spin to win Fridays at the Banquet, so that'll be tomorrow. Spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. Details at thebanquetbar.com. Wow, nice rally with the thumbs, everybody. We need 3 more for 200, and then we'll keep pushing from there. We'd love to get to 200 and maybe a new show record. Remember to share the link with other people. Now, if you're not on YouTube, if you have time to hop in today from the audio stream, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, that'd be cool as well. And give us the thumbs up. We understand not everybody can take it in on YouTube. We thank you no matter how you're listening to the show. Maybe you're in the future on a podcast.
Hello.
Which is cool as well, or watching YouTube after the fact. But you can also share the link with people. Like hit that little share button, text it to people and say, hey, Oilers, everybody's talking about the Oilers. These guys are talking about the Oilers. It's a lot of fun. Check them out. Give them a thumbs up.
Hey, if text them and say, hey, if we get to 354 likes, Reid's going to do the words of the day in the gentleman's speech.
So we're going to do a show record then?
Show record.
Because 1,500.
Let's be realistic.
I don't even think the morning show got to 1,500.
Let's be realistic here. Let's give the people what they
want.
want.
If we get to a show record of 354, I'll come up with a new gentlemanly character for
words of the day.
For words of the day.
Yeah. I think that's fair. We got a reward. You can't have empty promises.
As Def Leppard once said, I won't make promises that I can't keep. I'll even mean the things I tell you in my sleep. From the 1999 album Euphoria.
That's creepy.
Is it borderline? Is it too much how much I know about Def Leppard?
Why would you say that?
Well, I don't know. Maybe some people think it's sad.
Why would you say that?
Well,
That's cool.
maybe it's excessive.
I don't know. I know a lot of things.
I like being passionate about things.
I get you're passionate about Def Leppard for sure.
Oh, am I ever?
I don't know. I'm passionate about my lawn. People think that's weird. Maybe. Coob's giving me a weird look.
Well, Coob doesn't have his own lawn yet.
That's true. Yeah. Take you and your lawnless life.
And I've decided not to have my own lawn. So we're all good. We're all good. Oil Understood. We'll break down a bit of a feisty comment or two from Connor McDavid when we get back.
Two teams fighting for their playoff lives tonight. Winnipeg trailing 3-1 against Dallas, while Washington and Carolina open the night as the Canes look to close out their series in 5 games. And from Rimouski, the Oceanic and Wildcats drop the puck at 5 o'clock. Moncton aiming for the sweep in the QMJHL final. Elsewhere, Oilers 2024 first-round pick Sam O'Reilly and the Knights challenge the Generals with London up 3-1 in the WHL final. Basketball has just one game. OKC hits the court in Denver for Game 6 of their series against the Thunder. Or as the Thunder look to close out that one with the winner of that series facing the Timberwolves. MLB action has 4 games wrapped up, including Toronto losing 8-3 to Tampa Bay in their series closer. Jays and Tigers go at it tomorrow. On the links, Cam Davis and Ryan Gerard share top spot through 18 holes with Canadian Taylor Pendrith tied at 29th at 1 under through 15. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. It's the oil understood for GCL Diesel next on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
Craving a late night snack? Hit the Banquet for our new late night happy hour. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Try favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or our Banquet burger and fries, all at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Must you click? Click. Must you click?
Okay, this is amazing. So Jay and I on the ESTV have round 1 of the PGA Championship. Justin Thomas has one shoe off and one bare foot. His ball is on the incline, slanting into a little creek. And now he has chipped the ball across the creek onto the green.
What a shot.
So he took his shoe and sock off because his original stance he was going to try was 1 foot in the creek and the other foot on the grass. And then he took his foot out of the creek and had them both on the grass. And then there's this boulder behind him, so he couldn't take a normal backswing. He had to take a very vertical backswing and come down on the ball. If you or I hit that, Jay, we would just probably hit the middle of the ball straight down the incline into the creek.
First of all, we wouldn't have the dexterity to stand there like that.
I might have just taken a drop and been like, penalty stroke, we're fine. Yeah, I'm not going to try to hit this.
Into the creek.
Yeah. And he probably got it. I don't know. Was that 15 feet away?
Look at how close his club was to the rock.
And he got under the ball. He still couldn't elevate it very much because he's chopping down on the ball on a downslope.
That's incredible.
That's a great shot.
It's almost unbelievable.
Almost unbelievable. Yes, but I do believe that a golfer could almost put his ball in the creek and then make a difficult shot. It might have been unbelievable if he was hitting out of the creek and he holed it.
Then it would become believable.
Then it would right. Once it happens, it's no longer unbelievable. All right. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Coob, what's your email? Is it the Coob or is it Zach?
It's just Zach with an H.
So ZACHWITHH at EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Sure.
Oh, no, Zach, Z-A-C-H at EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't clarify.
The short version.
The short version, yeah.
If people would like to perhaps become involved in the show, we have a bunch of great partners who may present the studio or the Oil Understood or other things. How could they reach you, Jay, and say, hey, what could I get involved in?
Well, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. A lot of people listen to this while they're at work. They know colleagues that are listening to it while they're at work, which is okay. If you and your boss listen to this together at work, maybe you guys should reach out. Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. There's so many options in terms of getting involved. And let's face it. I mean, this EST is run by our partners. Without our partners, EST doesn't survive. So we're always growing. Our viewership is growing. So if you want to get on board with that, shoot me an email. I'd love to talk to you about it.
And people have done that. They've written in and say, hey, Jay, I like your station or I like this part of the show. What can I do?
Yeah. You want to make a segment? If you want to make a segment on the Reid Wilkins show, we could do whatever you want, even gentlemanly,
perhaps,
and make it yours or make it fit with your company. So yeah, if that fits the bill, reach out, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
And keep clicking the thumbs up on YouTube. We have soared past 200. So another 200 thumb day here on the Reid Wilkins show. And keep going with that. We'll see if we can get to a show record of 354. Then I'll have to do some acting, some gentlemanly acting before the conclusion of the program, which would be fun. I'll take it on. But we got to get to 354.
I think we can do it. I mean, we're halfway through the show, and we only need another 133 clicks.
Yeah.
That should be peanuts.
Very, very attainable.
Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your grandpa, tell your wife, tell your girlfriend, tell whoever.
Yeah. And if you have both a
Don't
wife and
say that. I knew, Reid. I could see it spinning in your head.
I was just being myself. All right.
That's not good. We do not condone having a wife and a girlfriend.
I wasn't. That's what I was going to say.
Oh,
that if you have both a wife and a girlfriend, you may have some other things to sort out after you get them both to give us thumbs up. So, anyway, it is time for The Oil Understood. It's presented by GCL Diesel. Speaking of great partners of EST, they're providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel.
Let's go, girls.
Understood.
Nice.
So the Oilers just traveled today. There was no media availability, but we want to go over a couple of things from last night. So let's start with the McDavid stuff. Connor McDavid was asked a question about the team's ability to defend.
It just seems like there's been a natural progression over the last couple of years even. Have you seen that, the way that you guys defend and feel more comfortable defending as a group?
I mean, how many times are we going to answer this question, really? Like, honestly, that's frustrating that we keep talking about this. We can defend. We can. We've showed that time and time again. Come into a tough building and win a 1-0 game when it matters most. We can play that way. We can score goals. We can, whatever it takes, we can win games.
So McDavid audibly frustrated with the question, visibly too, if you happen to see it on the Oilers stream last night, or I think Tom played the video as well on the GCL Diesel postgame show. I guess two sides to that. They got back-to-back shutouts. So they're going to be asked about preventing the other team from scoring. It's part of the story of the game. I think maybe McDavid, I'm just guessing here, either didn't like the way it was worded or maybe thought that reporter had asked that same question too many times. I'm not sure. As I've said, first of all, I as being someone who's in broadcasting and has had to, be in post-game scrums or pre-game scrums or whenever, I know sometimes there are certain storylines and you're trying to ask the same question different ways or hopefully get a good answer. So I know that's part of the job. But in that case, I get McDavid's frustration. And I said this, when did I do that Vegas radio hit? I don't remember now. Was it Monday night? Maybe was it last week even? I can't remember. I did. I think it was after game 2.
Last week.
I did a hit on a Vegas radio show in the evening. And the host basically said to me, can the Oilers overcome terrible goaltending and poor defensive play and win with offense? And I said, well, it's a bit of a myth that the Oilers can't play defense. They don't do it all the time. And yes, they've had goaltending struggles at times this season, but it's a bit of a myth that they can't play defense. So, and I think that's what McDavid said. Like, the Oilers winning a playoff series is no longer a new thing. I know they haven't achieved the ultimate goal of winning a cup, but the Oilers winning a playoff series is not a new thing over the last 4 years. I mean, they've won at least one round every 4 years. They've been in the playoffs 6 consecutive seasons. And they can play good defense. Now, I think that when they struggle, when they had regular season struggles, sometimes they didn't defend very well, or they just simply turned the puck over too much. They really did neither last night in abundance or at crippling times. But I get it from McDavid where it's just like, can you stop acting like we've never played a good defensive game before? Because they have. They don't do it all the time. Maybe they don't do it as often as some other good teams, but they've done it at some very, very key times. So I understand the frustration there. I also have sympathy. It was Daniel Nugent-Bowman. I'm sure people know the voices of most of the reporters now. And I think Daniel's excellent and does a really good job. And he's on the beat traveling with this series. I also understand why he's asking that. In hindsight, maybe he would word it different or something or to ask it from a different angle. Maybe how I asked. I'm not saying I'm the be on, but maybe with Ron Lowe. Hey, Connor, at what point did you realize this one goal might be enough to win? And how comfortable are you guys in that situation?
Maybe he asked it to get the response exactly the way he got it.
Or yeah, you never know. or you never
we're
know.
talking about it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's I don't know. Well, why don't you get to the next one, I guess, first, and then we can kind of.
Sure. Here's another Q&A with Connor from last night.
What does Stu coming in and pitching 2 straight shutouts in such important games, a series clincher, mean to this team?
Well, it shuts a lot of people up that we're talking about him, first and foremost. But we've always had belief in him. Comes in and pitches 2 shutouts. Can't say enough good things.
I wonder who he's talking to when he says, "I hope this shuts some people up." Yeah.
I
wonder who he's talking about.
Cool. It could be anybody.
Could be.
Obviously, Skinner was criticized a lot this season. I think some of it was
rightfully
so. I mean, if you have a bad game,
yeah.
When you and I always say, sometimes we just got to say what we see if it's obvious. But I think that's also important for the captain to do that, saying, "Hey, don't forget how good this guy is, and now don't forget 2 very significant wins that he had." That was probably. And I would you agree with me that sometimes McDavid is quite bland in his remarks?
Yeah, purposefully, I think.
Probably, yeah. Purposefully. Yeah, it does it on purpose.
And does it bother me? No,
it doesn't bother me at all. No, I'm not putting these out as anything that's bothering.
No,
I think it's noteworthy, though.
But I sure did appreciate him being fired up. I do. I think this is a player that is just sick of not playing in the Stanley Cup Finals. and just wants to get there and wants to remind everybody that this, don't worry about us. We're good. And he does, I think, Reid, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's quite protective of his teammates.
Yes.
And as a captain should be, I think that was an opportunity for him to say right to a lot of the haters, hey, screw you. What are you going to say now? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
This guy had delivered back-to-back shutouts. Very rarely has that happened. I think the only other goaltender to do that was Grant Fuhr for the Oilers.
Talbot did it.
Or Talbot
did it in 17.
Fuhr and Talbot. But I don't know. I don't mind that. Do you?
No, I don't mind it at all. I mean, I always say, and I was talking. Tom asked me about this last night because I do think. Well, I think from my experience of talking with fans over the years, and I used to take calls on another station and all that kind of stuff. I do believe that there are some people that are just rubbed the wrong way by Stuart Skinner. They just don't like how he talks. And when he talks about the mental game and sometimes openly admits, I felt nervous or maybe I didn't feel great tonight. And I remember when I was on Ched doing Overtime Open Line with Rob, there were a couple times Stuart Skinner said when he was asked about a bad play or a tough goal, or he goes, well, now I know how it feels when that happens and I can deal with it. That's not what people want to hear. They want to hear, I'm a loser. I'm a terrible goaltender. I should have known better. And if that ever happens again, I'll quit. Whereas Skinner looks at it as, okay, chalk that one up to experience. I got to be a little better. So, Skinner's honest and gets criticized. McDavid is generally quiet and bland and gets criticized, right? Either say this is good, and I say this before, and sometimes you and I even experience this as talk show hosts.
DeChambeau almost hit a hole.
Almost got a hole in one. That's a close one.
Jeepers.
Well, hey, say something. Oh no, not that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, you can't win unless you win. But now that Skinner's winning, probably fans are a little more open to what he's talking about. I think this also, remember Letestu was on yesterday, and he said, especially when he played in Canada, he had to try to block out what was being. I loved how he put it too. He's like, I didn't need to hear again that I'm undersized and I skate too slow. I know that's my criticism, but I think this. I do think. Well, I think it depends on the individual. Some players might really be able to block it out. Maybe some players don't or will read things about themselves. But I do think that print is different. Because I don't think, as much as we would like as large an audience as possible, I don't know how many players would listen to shows like this one, quite frankly, or Stoff, even the show that is owned by their company.
Yep.
I don't think they would listen to that. They would probably see some of the TV stuff, but I think some of the stuff in print they might still see
Twitter,
because it's easier to share.
Yeah.
It's either for a brother or a friend to say geez, man, you see them running down your goalie again? And Connor, even if he skims the article, he's like, oh, there's blankety blank writing this about us again.
Very good point.
And Darnell clearly knew how many people predicted the Oilers not to beat LA, right? Because he said that one thing. He's like, oh, we weren't supposed to win this series based on all of your guys' predictions.
Yeah.
Well, everybody at EST picked the Oilers, so he's not listening to that. But he knew in the Sportsnet article, 14 of the 17 writers or whatever picked LA. And I did like how Spec took a screenshot of the picks and circled Oilers in 6 and was like, hey, at DR25, right? So
yeah, you might as well.
But it's all part of the banter. And quite frankly, it's part of their jobs is to deal with that stuff.
As professional athletes?
Yeah. And I'm not saying they're not human or might not be affected by it. And I'm not saying it would suck to be sent an article written by somebody saying, hey, one of your best friends is terrible at his job, for sure. Because some of these guys are really good friends too. But also that's part of the job. And if it motivates them and Connor wants to come out and after and say, stick that in your pipe, I think that's also part of it too. I'm fine with all of it.
Yes.
There, I'm actually fine with some things. People, see? I'm not upset and angry about everything.
How are we doing on the thumbs anyways? I haven't checked.
233.
All right, well, let's go. We got to get another.
Well, hang on, let me refresh. 237.
We got some work
237.
to do,
We need
people.
100. No, we need 120.
Yes.
We need 120 new show record. 780-218-9999 is how you text us, by the way. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Home of Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week. That is from 2 to 5 p.m. Mark in the nasty chat, Connor removing excuses from his own dressing room. Remember when he said, we are not the Walking Dead, we are healthy? Yeah, he just said something along those lines earlier. So
I like it.
Yeah.
And I love it,
and I mean, they're in the Final Four, so you can't really call them a bad team.
You can't criticize many players here.
You can't. I mean, they might lose in the next round, fine, but you can't really say this is a massively flawed failure of a season.
Speaking of the next round, I got a question specifically about the next round that I want to ask you coming up after the break for buying or selling for Damon Bunting Real Estate.
You know who gets to talk first? LeCube.
Winnipeg and Washington are on the brink of elimination entering Game 5 tonight. Caps and Canes drop the puck at 5 o'clock with the Jets battling the Stars at 7:30. And overseas, Canada beat Austria 5-2. Nathan McKinnon with 2 goals as Canada stays undefeated. They get back in action Saturday against Slovakia. And in the OHL Finals, Game 5 goes between the Knights and the Generals. London up 3-1 in the series, looking to take it all. We have another CHL matchup in the Oceanic, and Wildcats duking it out. Wildcats eyeing the sweep up 3-0 in the QMJHL final. On the court, the Nuggets look to stave off elimination in Game 6 against the Thunder. Oklahoma's Jamal Murray is questionable for the contest, and the winner of that series moves on to play the Timberwolves. While MLB action saw Toronto lose 8-3 to Tampa Bay. 4 games wrapped up in baseball. Later, we see the Astros battle the Rangers. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. It's buying or selling for Damon Bunting when we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Timeout Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, thanks, Coop. 4:49, Jason Chimera, former Oiler, former Washington Capital, Edmontonian, coming up at 5 o'clock this afternoon. He'll have some perspective on the Oilers series win over the Golden Knights and Probably talk about his former team, the Caps, former teammate Alex Ovechkin facing elimination this evening. Somebody in the Nasty Chat asking to turn on closed captions on YouTube. We do not do that. I don't know if the person's got the audio on. You can do that yourself. So you hover your mouse over the bottom of the screen, right?
Yeah. And then there's autoplay. It's a little arrow. Just to the right of it is subtitles / closed caption.
Maybe,
it's
but mine says
unavailable.
so maybe that's what they mean. I don't know if we can control that or not.
I don't know. That's
for
a good
live
question.
stuff. I don't know.
I will explore this right now.
Coob's going to look into it right now. Coob is on it. Data's on it. Captain, looking into the closed captioning now.
You mean data?
Oh, I still can't believe Coop said that. Yeah, well, we'll see if we can figure that out. I'm glad somebody brought that up. We'll see what's going on with that. 780-218-9999, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. That is how you text us. Getting some good texts coming in today. And like I said, Jason Chimera coming up. A double word of the day a little bit later on. If you are on YouTube, click the thumbs up button. We're at 245, just over 100 away from a show record. And perhaps getting me to do a new goofy character by the end of the show. Some sort of gentlemanly character.
We're just going to put all the watches around you.
Yeah, I'll just line up with the watch. Did they do the full 3 hours this morning?
I think they did everything except the Bruce Boudreau.
Which I heard. Well, I heard that part. I had an eye appointment this morning.
Yeah, you did. How'd it go?
8 o'clock. I think it went well. I mean, as you know, Jay, I'm quite, and I don't talk about it on air too much, I'm quite frustrated with the eye. Because the recovery is longer than I would like.
Yep.
But I did see the surgeon who did my surgery, I guess, 16 days ago now, and he said it is healing as well as it could be healing. My vision is improving, but it's still blurry. I still see a gas bubble, and I do occasionally have pain. And I told him those things, and he goes, "That's all normal."
Oh,
and
good.
But he said it is a 3-month full recovery.
Damn.
And then at that point, I have to go to the optometrist because the shape of my eye has been changed by the buckle that's been put around it, the scleral buckle. If anybody wants to watch the surgery,
great band.
You have still not watched the surgery. Gager did.
I could.
It's not that disgusting, but it's a little disgusting. Like there's blood, there's eyeballs being sliced.
Yeah,
it's not my eyeball. It's like a surgery. So anyway, I don't want to talk. Like I missed a day of work, so I can't hide that I had the surgery and there's a recovery to go through.
I'm just happy that everything's on schedule.
It was good news. I just still think of, oh man, like another possibly 10 weeks, and then I still might have some blurred vision, and we'll have to get a new lens. And I still can't drive. I'm probably at least 2 weeks away from being able to drive. So that's pretty discouraging.
Only 2 weeks? That's good.
Well, he told me a month initially, and then I said, like, what are we looking at for driving? He said, well, not yet. Like, see how your vision is. And he goes, your vision will continue to improve.
Okay.
And I said, when's the bubble going to go away? And he said, it's different for everybody. But the really good news I got today, I can now sleep on my right side. Because I had to sleep on the right side to help the bubble, on my left side to somehow help the bubble where it is in my left eye. I can now sleep in any position I want.
That's fantastic.
Which is going to be good because I have not had a great sleep since the surgery, because you might wake up and roll over and I go, wait, I can't. And maybe you're not comfortable or whatever.
Okay.
So, you know, worse things to go through, but probably better things to go through too.
Oh, definitely.
All right. Like one good thing to go through is buying or selling. Presented by Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. Coob, what are you doing?
I was moving my hand. Or what? I don't even know
Why
what
are
I'd
you
say.
pumping your fist in the air? Do you have something you want to say?
Yeah. No, I was getting excited for buying or selling.
Oh
for
my
Damon
goodness! I
Bunting.
thought.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, I thought you'd accomplished something that we needed to get on the radio.
What did they call that? That was off the Arsenio
Woof,
Hall
woof,
show.
woof, woof.
Woof, 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 woof.
I don't know what they called that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Woofing? Buying or selling, Reid?
Oh, yes.
If the Oilers play like they did in games 4 and 5, it doesn't matter who they face in the next series.
Buying.
Emphatic.
I guess we're going to find out in the next round. Okay, this might sound weird. Are they playing even better than we think they're playing? Like maybe Vegas was sort of the ultimate opponent, and then they're going to go up against Winnipeg or Dallas and be like, oh, wow, they are good.
What do you mean?
Just that they'll be in complete control, and maybe they're playing at a level
like
of...
Winnipeg or Dallas is going to say, oh, wow, the Oilers are that good.
Well, we're going to say that watching them. It's like, they beat LA, then now they're beating this other team that was supposed to maybe be able to beat them.
True enough. I just... Okay, that might be where this question dovetails to then. Is this the best the Oilers can play? I mean, obviously...
Is this the best the Oilers can play? No, because they're not scoring on the power play. They're not even getting chances.
So, but think of that. That's pretty good.
From a commitment, like I'm not even going to say defense, because I think that oversimplifies it. I'm going to say from a commitment and positional standpoint, it's pretty close to the best they can play, which is nice to see.
Absolutely. Buying or selling, Oilers fans should want the Dallas-Winnipeg series to end tonight. Less of a break.
No, selling. I think you want these teams to damage each other physically and emotionally.
Well, the Oilers haven't had the best history when coming off of a break.
I know, but as I always say, I don't think there's anything wrong with rest. I mean, maybe it helps you get Ekholm back. Of course, there are guys banged up on the team right now. All right, maybe the series starts Tuesday or Wednesday, and maybe the Oilers lose game 1 because they're rusty. Maybe. I would sooner deal with that than have lost yesterday and you give Vegas some life, and you got to play game 6, and you got to block more shots, and you have to take more punches to the face in scrums, and you have to kill more penalties, and you have to take more body checks, right? Like the Oilers cannot lose another game in the second round. They do not have to get any stats involving anything to do with physicality or pain. I will always take that, and I still think the time off in the long run is better. I'm totally committed to that belief.
Fair enough. As you saw today, the Tecmo League, you're the official play-by-play announcer of the EST Tecmo League. League play, regular season league play commenced today. There's been 3 matchups thus far. So given that regular season play has already commenced, should the Coupe and YTT still be able to have an exhibition match against each other?
No.
I agree.
Because the machine needs to be used for regular season matches or by someone like me who wants to get in a game of track and field every day.
Which you should live stream, by the way, as well.
Okay. Oh, how do I do it?
I'll show you. It's easy, bro.
Who's going to watch that?
You'd be surprised.
Okay, fair enough.
You'd be surprised.
That's awesome.
There were 7 people watching our matchup this morning.
The game you won?
I defeated Trev 14-0.
You blanked him.
Yeah, it was a defensive struggle.
That's impressive.
Okay, so no exhibition games. Well,
I'm not really the arbiter.
LTE is the commissioner of the league, so
but he has no interest in it though.
0. But I'd like to have his opinion on it. Coob?
Well, Matty said it was fine. He's usually the voice of reason for everybody here around.
Matt's not the commissioner.
But he always gets asked, so what are the rules? So how do we determine this? Everybody goes to him to make sure if the rules are correct.
Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat. We'll leave it to the commissioner.
Yeah.
I just think Coob also, it doesn't matter. Just get your games in.
It does to me, bro.
I know you, Trev, and I are gonna get our asses kicked.
That's true.
By those guys the majority of the time. So just let's go.
Yeah, that's right. I would have waited like 4 timeouts during the draft just to play this exhibition game.
Tell you what, guys, we got to get to a break. Yeah. Jason Chimera is standing by. He's going to join us as well. Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta.
The EST Hangout.
This just came in 10 minutes ago to my email.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations. You've been nominated into the category Marketing and Advertisement in the Community Votes Edmonton campaign. Wow. A campaign recognized the best businesses and services.
Yeah, I guess.
We're in the Marketing and Advertisement too. I don't want the radio station one. I want this one now.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Spin to win Fridays at the Banquet. Every Friday, spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. It's that easy. Spin, win, and save. Don't miss out. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Two games dot the NHL slate. Hurricanes and Capitals open things up in just a moment. Carolina hoping to close out the series up 3-1. After that, Stars and Jets drop the puck in Game 5. Winnipeg on the brink of elimination. And overseas, Canada got past Austria 5-1. Nathan McKinnon finding the back of the net twice to remain undefeated before taking on Slovakia on Saturday. In Game 5, Knights Generals goes in the OHL Championship Series. London with the stranglehold up 3-1. In the QMJHL, Moncton looked for the sweep in the final against Rimouski to take it all. And basketball has just one contest. The Thunder looking to strike the Nuggets to take the series in 6 games. Jamal Murray of the Thunder is questionable for the game. Tip-off for that one goes at 6:30. And in baseball, Toronto lost 8-3 to the Rays. Toronto opens up a series against Detroit tomorrow. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. Can we put hockey on now? On the ESTV? I'm sorry I'm so demanding, Jay. I don't even know how the remote works. I just bark orders at Jay. Well, we got
Reid,
Hurricanes
I'd do anything for my best
Capitals on. Oh, good. I'll let them know. Of course, Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Make your bets count for you and everyone else with the Play Alberta app with hundreds of player prop bets on the biggest leagues, NFL, CFL, NHL, NBA, Major League Baseball, you name it. You're not just playing for fun, you're supporting your province. Play Alberta revenue helps fund Alberta programs and services. Deposit today with promo code YEG50, YEG50, and get an EST exclusive $50 free bet to get started. Keep clicking the thumbs up on YouTube. We're trying to get to a show record here of 353. We do have quite a respectable total of 256, but we want to try to get a little bit more. Do we have our buddy on the line? Oh, this is great. Joining us today, the guy I've had the pleasure of interviewing for several years, returning to the Reid Wilkins Show, former Edmonton Oiler and former Washington Capital, for that matter, Jason Chimera is on the line. Jason, it's Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
Rito, thanks for having me always, buddy. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Love talking to you as well. We're going to have to get you in studio.
He's also the pride of Malcolm Tweedle. You can't forget that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, Malcolm Tweedle. That's where.
Oh, is that an elementary school? What is that?
That's an elementary school.
Yeah.
In Mill Woods. Yep.
Yeah, junior high. Oh, yeah, so Edith Rogers and Malcolm Tweedle will give a shout out. Yeah, Malcolm Tweedle's my grade school. Then junior high was Edith Rogers.
Have they named? Have they given any thought, or have you been called about the possibility of renaming the gym at Edith Rogers to the Jason Chimera Recreation Facility?
Maybe they lost my number, but I haven't got a call for this yet. No.
Well, we got to start lobbying for that. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if that happens. Well, thanks for hopping on. We always love talking with you, and I know you're such a keen observer of the order. And like you and I have talked over the years a lot, and sometimes we would talk or text off air, especially if the team was going through a tough stretch, and you'd be like, "They got to defend. Like defending's hard. Defending's hard work. Like you got to commit." Well, what'd you think of the last two games, man?
Well, I was first and foremost, I was really happy for Stuart Skinner because he's taken a lot of flack in the media and taken a lot of heat for I thought unwarranted and no reason. So it was really good for him to have solid games back to back. And your main line of defense starts with their goalie, so that's. Yeah, and they played way better in front of them. They checked, they back checked. You see McDavid coming back, like he caught someone from he smashed his face against the boards, but he caught someone from I don't know, it seemed like 10 seconds back. So just commitment to that stuff is huge in the playoffs, especially in the regular season for that matter. But just in the playoffs, it means so much. And I would never thought I would see a 1-0 game in overtime to end the kind of series. So.
Well, and we had Ron Lowe on in the last hours as well, and I'm going to ask you the same question I asked him. At what point did you realize that game was going to end 1-0? And I guess the second part of that is you must have played in games where you thought okay, one goal is going to win it. We got to play that thorough tonight.
Yeah, with the offenses and those teams, I would never suspect that the game was going to be 1-0. It was pretty tight checking out there for the first, pretty uneventful. A lot of stuff not going on, and not a lot of chances first couple periods, and then once you get by the first period without scoring, 0-0, then things really start tightening up. You don't want to be the guy who screws up, especially if you're a third, fourth liner guy. You're trying to keep it simple and try to dump pucks in, not to take too many risks and take some calculated risks, but not overly kind of. Yeah, you play a little more cautious than you probably should, and I think that resembled that game last night.
Jason Chimera joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. The Oilers finished the regular season with several players injured. One that hadn't played all season in Evander Kane. Then you had Trent Frederick, who played 7 minutes of one game. John Klingberg. Hyman was on the shelf for a bit at the end of this. Are you surprised at the speed that this team has come together to deliver that style of play, given that many of them hadn't played together during the regular season?
Not really. I think when you have the kind of speed, the pace and practice is just as much as the game. Probably Connor and Leon and those guys lead the way that way, and they try to push the pace and practice as much as possible. And I watch some of their practices, and they're the ones leading the way. They're going full speed all the time. So you as an observer or like a Frederick or a Kane, and those guys are forced to play at pace and practice. And if you're playing against the fastest man in the seems like the planet, so it is pretty. You got to get up to speed pretty quickly, or else you look silly in practice. And no matter how what practice is, you don't want to look stupid in practice. So you get up to speed pretty quickly.
James mentioned Klingberg, and I think he's worth asking you about because, you've only been retired 6-7 years, so you still played against a lot of the guys that are in the league, but you would have played against Klingberg, maybe not a ton, but a couple times a year when he was in his prime. What was it like being on the ice against him?
Well, he was kind of like a Nick Lidstrom kind of guy. Like he used the stick really well, skated really well, escaped really well. They never really overly, maybe never over levered. Like wasn't too physical, and he never really pissed you off. But he was a solid player for a lot of years, and just made the right play. He's really skilled in a blue line, walking a blue line, and he was just a really solid player who did a lot of good things. And back then he was a little younger and he moved around a little better, but he still looked like he's moving around pretty good. And that was a really good pickup by them. I thought he's been a really good player for a lot of years. And if Bouchard gets hurt, he's one of those guys who goes right in the power play, can run that just as good as him, I think. So that's kind of a feather in your cap to have that too.
Yeah, well, and he's made some passes in the postseason where I've thought, man, how did he see that, or how did he put that? I mean, the winning goal in Game 1, he started that with a cross ice diagonal neutral zone pass to Nuge, who got it to Kane, who got it to Hyman. So he didn't get an assist, but he started the play. How do you? And I know there's a lot of good puck movers in the league, but that must really be frustrating for guys like you who were fast skaters and smart, rugged forecheckers. But like, what angle do you take on a guy like that, right? That's so good at moving the puck.
Yeah, it's tough. You got to just kind of steer him one way and hope he makes the right play. But he'll make some plays you don't think he's going to make, just because like his hockey IQ is off the charts. By if you look at when he gets the puck, he's already checked his shoulder 3 or 4 times before he gets it. He knows what he's doing with it, and like he's the kind of guy who keeps you guessing the whole time as a forechecker. So those kind of guys give themselves a little more time because you really don't know what they're going to do. So you try to force him one way, he might go right into you and go right through you. So he's pretty unpredictable that way. And, you try to force as much as possible and try to get on as much. But if you're not right on him, he's going to make those plays by you, through you, around you, that kind of player. He's very unique player that way. He's his hockey IQ is off the charts. And when he goes back for puck, he knows what he's like 2 steps ahead of you. So it's pretty cool to watch and pretty cool to see. For sure, not cool to forecheck against, right. For sure, but it's because you want to get in there, hit him, and then the puck's off his stick before he even gets to it. It seems like so. He's a smart player.
Heck of an overtime goal by Kapanen. I got to ask you about that and get a thought on that. And I should remind people, most of your goals were end to end, going through the entire team, but you scored the odd one where you probably were getting buried and you just had to keep hacking away at it.
It's the Rito. It's not the days of like you can't look up stuff though. So you go like people. If you say I go end to end, people are looking for Jason Chimera end to end. They'll still see it's probably just me tripping over people. So that's the only end to end over my own head. So,
but was that a fitting overtime goal given how that game was played?
Yeah, 100%. And that. To me, Kapanen, he deserves that goal since I think it was Game 4. At first shift, he came out there, ran like 3 people, if you guys remember that. And they're just like he played with a ton of speed that day. And if that guy could only play that way all the time, he'd be a really if he kind of got that game. And it's because I thought he played extremely well for the last couple of games, and he was a big piece. And probably credit to Knoblauch, the coach, for inserting him in here and see what he could do. Probably had to talk with him and say, hey, you got to play this way to be successful. And, it was pretty fitting he scored a goal because I thought he earned that just in previous, the way he played in kind of Game 4 and 5. It's just in general, he played really good.
Jason, Joaquin Gage is a colleague of ours here at Edmonton Sports Talk, and he wanted me to say hi to you first and foremost. And then he told me to ask you about your daughter. Apparently, she's quite the hockey player.
Yeah. Well, both my kids are really good players. I got a son that's going to play junior A somewhere next year. And then and then my daughter, she's got invited to the U18 female camp Alberta. She's quite the player too. And pretty proud of both my kids. They're just really, really good hockey players and fun to watch. And Gagers, he's a great man. That guy, he's a good guy to have on your squad for sure.
Now, are you coaching either of your kids?
Yeah, I coach my daughter's team. I coach at OHA Edmonton here. We U18 female team, so I coach the girls here.
Okay, and I know you probably got to go, but I I know you're busy, but I'm assuming you're watching at least, or as much playoff hockey as you can. When we had you on a few weeks ago, it was about Ovi, and I know you're still close to Ovi, and I know you still have connections to this Capitals team. I didn't see this coming, though, that Carolina would have a chance to finish it off tonight. I don't know how much you've seen, but what have you seen in this series, and are you still believing in Ovi and the Caps here?
Yeah, you never count like Caps out, I think, but Carolina's just play extremely well. They're just like all over the map, and they're all in your I love the way they play hockey. I love like their up tempo style out. They're in your face the whole time, and I've been watching that series quite regularly, and they just seem like they're overwhelming Caps a bit on a lot of occasions, and really nullifying their offense, and they're having troubles with the Carolina speed and effectiveness of their forechecks. So I hope they kind of find a way to make some adjustments, but Carolina, I think I don't know if Washington's just played that bad or Carolina's played extremely well. I think it's probably the latter because Carolina's playing really good.
Jason, love having you on. Thanks for making time for us. And yeah, if you have, when you're maybe done coaching or if you have a quiet day in the summer, you can come by Edmonton Sports Talk. We have a video game machine. Like we have a stand-up video game console with like 6,000 games, and we'd even let you use it.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Kind of a pop too? Is there pops there too?
Yeah, there's both like sugar pop and adult pops, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't drink those. I don't drink the adult pops, just the sugar pops.
Yeah, we'll find one for you. Hey, buddy, thanks for doing this. Enjoy the rest of the Oilers run, and we'll see if the Caps can stay alive tonight. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Have a good night.
Love having Jason Chimera on the show. Of course, Oilers, Blue Jackets, Capitals, Islanders, and then a brief stint with the Ducks in 17-18, over 1,100 games. I didn't know that. Well, I don't know all the schools in Edmonton. Where did he go?
Malcolm Tweddle.
In Millwoods.
Yeah, Milburn Road.
Okay.
And then Edith Rogers, I believe, is on 38th Ave. They're really close to each other, but as per Millwoods.
Well, Jasmine's very excited they got a mention.
Millwoods, yeah.
Chat. Yeah.
Great.
Millwoods is 2 words, though.
It is. And
yes, it is.
When they say welcome to Millwoods on the sign, it's 2 words.
Yes.
And W is obviously capitalized.
Right. Yeah.
So it's actually the woods of the mill.
Yeah. A lot of mills there.
Lots.
A lot of forests.
That's how Edmonton was built.
Yeah.
From the mills of the woods.
The mill from the woods of the mill. I love having Jason on the show. I know he would have appreciated how the Oilers played. And he started off by saying, good for... He kind of said what McDavid said.
Yeah.
Just didn't quite say it exactly the same way. But he's a keen observer of the game, and good for him coaching his kids and other future hockey players. What in Edmonton is named after former NHLers besides Messier and Gretzky Trail? Now, Messier is a local guy, right?
Well, there's the Glen Hall Arena out in Spruce.
Is anything named after Strudwick? Pisani? I don't know.
Strudwick Street? I don't know. Maybe one day.
Maybe.
I think Strudwick would be more of an avenue guy.
Boulevard?
Struddy Ave. There's got to be...
Maybe there's a walkway.
I mean, there's plenty of Edmontonians who have played high level. There's probably an Olympian, maybe who wasn't a hockey player I'm not thinking of.
Isn't there a Grant Fuhr Arena?
In Spruce, yes.
Or Grant Fuhr, the Fuhr Sports Complex?
Well, and I think in St. Albert, there's a Troy... Isn't there a Messier Arena and a Troy Murray Arena? Somebody's going to tell
Jennifer
us.
Heil Way.
In Spruce, right.
Maybe Edmonton's just not doing a good...
But I mean, here's the thing. Okay, so Jason Chimera maybe was never an all-star or a 100-point scorer, but he played playoffs and regular season combined almost 1,200 games in the NHL. There's got to be something you could name after him.
I think we should really focus on Edith Rogers to try get either a Jason Chimera statue out front,
right,
and like a real itty bitty one.
No, I don't know who Edith Rogers was, so I'm not the most informed person to be talking about this.
You don't need to change a school. You could just have maybe the library is a Jason Chimera Learning Center.
The Jason Chimera Learning Center. I like that.
Yeah. Center for Learning.
If he's still listening, he's probably cringing that we're talking about this. He's probably like, okay, guys, enough.
Well, speaking of nominating things, nominate Edmonton Sports Talk. If you go to edmontonsportstalk.com, there's a button on the top that says Go Nominate. So Edmonton Community Votes is taking nominations for the best radio station in Edmonton. And Edmonton Sports Talk has been nominated. You just simply click Nominate, and it says nominated. So there's about, 12, 13 options. Go nominate Edmonton Sports Talk. We want this one bad. So you have to, they only, once all the nominations are in, they'll whittle this down to, I think, 5 contestants, and then it's on. But we want this bad. Just think of the content.
Well, we want to build, like we're saying. We're all about doing excellent work and building.
No. We want the content, Reid. We want the trophy.
Oh, yeah, that
we
too.
Want
that's
the
all
gala.
That's all part of the building.
I'm sure there's a gala. Maybe the gentleman would show up to the gala.
Maybe the bookbinder would show
Eric
up.
could have a satchel of wine.
I've put together the program. I've bound the programs for the gala event. I'm quite proud to do it. Do you know how I did it, Jay? Not with some piece of machinery. With these hands, Jay. Look upon the hands of a bookbinder, binding books and programs for the enjoyment of others.
Maybe the bookbinder could commemorate the Jason Chimera Learning Center.
I think that'd be appropriate.
I think it would.
780-218-9999 is how you can text us. It's the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Don't forget, keep clicking that thumbs up button if you're taking in the show on YouTube, or send the link to somebody else and tell them to give us a thumbs up.
Click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click.
We're going
thumb.
We're going for a show record 354. I will admit that might be tough, but 300 is in sight, which would be incredible to get to 300. So let's do a final push. I know there's some people maybe checking in after work. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you're on the audio stream, if you got a second to hop over to YouTube, give us a thumbs up as well. Share that link. It's easy to text to people and say, check these guys out, help them build their station, because they're working hard every day to do some great things. Kelvin says LTE is out for the gala. He'd have to wear pants. There's Bill Hunter Arena. That's something for sure. Tamara, Jennifer Heil Way. We mentioned that. Jared says we need the walking walkway.
Maybe it could be like the walkway under the LRT that goes over the North Saskatchewan River from like off River Valley Road.
That is the Dudley Menzies Bridge.
Well, we're gonna have to change
I don't know
that.
who Menzies was. I think it's the Menzies Bridge. But I used to run over there when I could do that sort of thing.
What if we just went in right in front of EST?
What if we just named something after Chimera?
Walking gauge walkway.
What if? Exactly.
Then it is. I mean, it's our.
Yeah, we could just name our table the Jason Chimera table.
The fake grass in front of EST.
Because he was a support player.
Oh. Now, this is good.
He's horrified if he's listening to this. Okay, here's the coup.
Carolina and Washington are underway for Game 5 of their series. Canes leading that one 3-1. And that game scoreless about 8 minutes into the first period. Carolina fresh off killing a 2-minute power play. Later, Winnipeg hosts Dallas as the Stars look to close that series in 5 games. And 2 CHL Championship Series can end tonight. London hosting Oshawa 3-1, entering Game 5 of the OHL Finals, going down in just a moment, while Rimouski looks to avoid the sweep in Game 4. Earlier, it was Canada getting past Austria 5-1 to stay undefeated in the tournament. Canada's next game comes Saturday against Slovakia. In the association, Jamal Murray is questionable for the Thunder in Game 4. Tip-off for that one, or Game 6, tip-off for that one goes at 6:30 with the Nuggets. With OKC leading 3-2 in the series, winner of that matchup plays Minnesota. For the Jays, they fell 8-3 to the Rays in their series closer today. Toronto and Detroit have a date tomorrow just after 5. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park. I think that's right off the Jason Chimera walkway. Or call them at 780-467-5014. The Reid Wilkins Show continues once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
We're going to get to Bruce Boudreau. He's going to join us here.
Klingberg looks like 2017 Dallas Stars right now. And look at, what's the guy's name? Wallman. Detroit paid San Jose to take him. They paid him. Bouchard's only playing for one team now. He's not playing for both teams. Things are looking up in Oil Town right now. If you're thinking going to the finals again, it's a good thought.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by South Fort Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Carolina has scored 1-0 lead over the Capitals almost halfway through the first period. Got to catch up on some limericks here. You can email them to reid at edmontonsportstalk.com and or j@edmontonsportstalk.com. Got a couple from JD. There was once a fan from TO whose jersey he decided to throw. His dreams aren't alive. Given up in Game 5 on TV last night eating crow. I'm going to, do we have the debate song? No? Okay. I'm going to dive right in before we get to his other limerick. The afternoon debate presented by Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club. Fall in golfers. Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club is open to the public. Memberships are still available. Join the ranks today and experience top-tier golf with a proud military tradition. For info, visit egmgolf.com. Throwing a jersey on the ice is one of the most abhorrent things you can do as a spectator at a hockey game. I think it's terrible.
Why?
I think it's inappropriate, and I think it's disrespectful, and I think it makes you, quite frankly, look like a childish baby. Okay, your team lost a hockey game. Sorry. So you love the team enough to buy a jersey. How much is a jersey? They're like, I don't even know because I don't buy that type of merch. Aren't they like well over $100 to get a team jersey? Goob, you know. You have like the jersey of every team.
Now they're even more... Jeez, let me take a second here. They're probably over $200.
Okay, so you've bought the jersey. So you've bought a Leafs jersey. And look, when we had people who did it in Edmonton games through the decade of darkness, and Rob and I had to talk about it after games, and we both thought, like, it's just foolish. Like, you shouldn't throw stuff on... Really, you shouldn't throw stuff on the ice unless it's caps for a hat trick, right? So you're at the game, your team's getting throttled, and you're going to throw your jersey on the ice? Like, what are you proving? Yeah, look at the scoreboard. The team's getting killed. They know it. So what, you're ending your fandom of the team? Well, you want Austin Matthews to chase after you? No, keep cheering for us. Hey, give me a break. That's such a low-class, quite frankly, idiotic maneuver. And I know people did it here in Edmonton, and I think it's terrible.
person can do with their jersey whatever they want. Now, throwing it on the ice is not legal in arenas, right?
Correct.
You
should not be welcome back into the arena ever, I believe.
Well, I'm sure that those that have done that have had a ban of some sort. I don't know. And it like their money, their jersey, but it's useless. It's silly. It doesn't make a difference. I guess they would be, saying, well, I don't want to cheer for this team anymore. That's how bad they are and pathetic. Do I agree with it? No. Certainly wouldn't ever do that or, want anybody I know to do that.
Okay, so that was a terrible loss for the Leafs, and they played poorly. What if they could still win the series?
Yeah. That is true.
Okay, maybe it doesn't look like they will, but I mean, we've seen teams that didn't look like they were going to win a series, like the Oilers in round one against Los Angeles, for example. I don't know. I don't know why that it just bugs me. I think it's just a disrespectful thing to do at a game. I mean, fine, boo the team off the ice. Yeah. That's probably more. That's probably worse. And I know they did. Or leave early, like they did. Make them play to a half-empty arena.
Yep.
For the last 10 minutes of a game in which they're getting blown out. Like, so you've bought that. You love the team enough to buy a jersey, and then you're going to go to a game. Oh, they lost the game, so I'm going to throw the jersey on the ice.
How many sober people do you think have thrown a jersey on the ice?
I don't know.
What? Guess.
5.
What percentage of it? Probably very few.
Well, it depends how. I don't know.
I would say the percentages are low.
But to me, that fan should not be allowed back in the arena ever. That should be a lifetime ban.
You're quite passionate about this.
Well, some things, get my brain moving.
Some things. The afternoon debate brought to you by the Edmonton Garrison.
You see what Jimbo posted? Am I missing an inside joke here? At least they didn't throw a 6-month supply of single-use contact lenses onto the ice.
Well, Did that
happen?
He's probably,
for the refs? I don't know.
Making the costs relatable. Saying what else costs $200?
Oh, like around that, yeah.
You wouldn't throw, 5 30 packs of beer on the ice or cubes of beer.
That's a good point.
You wouldn't do that.
I just don't like. I got to read Josh's other limerick here. Sorry. Reid Wilkins reports with elation on his EST online sensation. He says, "Rest assured, my voice will be heard. The cup's coming straight back to our nation."
Very good.
Now, I don't know if I specifically have predicted that. The Stanley Cup's coming to oil country or to Canada.
Well, you didn't.
I didn't. I actually said Dallas over Toronto at the start of the playoffs.
Yeah. NFL owners will meet next week, on a resolution that would allow players to participate in flag football during the 2028 Summer Olympics. The Summer Olympics of 2028 are happening July 14th to July 30th. So, by all sounds, Jerry Jones is behind it. There's some other high-level owners that are also behind it. Do you think the NFL will let its players play flag football in the 2028
I think they
Olympics?
should. I think that'd be spectacular theater.
Okay.
Because why would I watch a bunch of players I've never heard of play flag football in the Olympics? It'd be way more interesting to watch if they're NFLers.
Do you think there's a case to be said? Because USA
Caps tied it.
USA has national flag football teams, men's and women's. Do you think the NFL players would just pick it up like nothing, specifically offensive players, and be dramatically better than the men and women?
Well, that's why I want to see it. That's why I want to find out. That's part of the reason I'd want to find out. If it was like American NFLers up against a bunch of Germans who aren't pro football players but have been playing flag football together for 7 years on a team. Like, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be interesting. Now, for the NFL, this doesn't happen during their season. For the CFL, it does. Do you think the CFL would shut down?
You've really thought about this, eh?
I was talking about it with Maddie today. Do you think the CFL would suspend their season for 2 weeks?
No.
For their players to go play for Team Canada?
No.
But the NFL would. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't you say? Because who would be the starting
how many
quarterback?
players are on a team?
I think there's 5 on offense playing. I don't know. I think that's what it is. But who would play? Maybe 7? Not sure. Who would be the starting quarterback for Team Canada?
Trey Ford.
Not if he's not allowed to play. Not if he's...
Rourke.
He's playing.
Oh, you're saying if they don't go to play?
Well, then, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Larry Duffy from Windsor, who's like a lifelong flag football player. I don't know.
You don't think the CFL would take 2 weeks off?
No. They can't afford the time, man. The season's long enough as it is.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'd shorten the season to 16 weeks or stretch it out into December to have Canadian players playing flag football in the Olympics. I don't think. Did Canada name LaPolice the flag football coach? Rip City Step says so. I don't remember seeing that. X-Ray J says, Reid, you're entitled to opinion. It's more idiotic to throw your hat on the ice when a player scores 3 goals. I don't think, though. That's a tradition of hockey. Charlie says, I don't agree with Reid on a ban, LOL. If you can throw a hat when you're happy, then you can throw a jersey when you're angry. It makes a statement. What statement does it make? What statement does that make? Okay, Oilers fans did it when the team was in the process of missing the playoffs for 10 consecutive years. It was embarrassing, quite frankly. I still don't agree with it. What statement are you making? My team's in the final 8 and they're down 3-2 in a best of 7. What statement are you making about what an entitled baby you are? You're making a statement about yourself, not about your team. Like they're in the second round. I realize there's a lot of pain for Leafs fans, but like this is not a wipeout era of the Maple Leafs. They're a perennial playoff team. And you're going to go to a game and you're such a child. You're such an emotionally wrecked, pathetic human being. You have to throw your $200 jersey on the ice because your team's losing 5 or 6-0. You would not be welcome back in my building.
I guess, see, the thing is this, is it's their jersey. If they want to do that, ultimately it's up to them. The issue is throwing it on the ice is illegal.
Yes.
But the actual act of it is their way of protesting the team, I suppose.
Right. But Can6 makes a good point. If you want to make a statement, then don't show up to the games.
That's probably the best statement.
That's a good point.
Because guess what? Throwing your jersey on the ice does not affect the owner of the team, does not affect the players on the team.
No.
It simply does not. In fact, the owner might take delight in knowing that when the team turns it around, this dumbass is going to have to buy a new jersey.
Buy another jersey. Yes. You do not have for the people who are suggesting you have a right to do what you want because you played for a ticket. Wow, you're out to lunch. You do not have a right to throw things on the ice or run onto a field. Like there are rules and laws and decorum about how to behave. And quite frankly, you could throw your jersey on the ice while the play's in progress and have a player step on it and get hurt. Like it's just bad. It's just all around bad.
Well, and Big Uke says, and it is true, protesting your team in the second round.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
In the second round of the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not like they're in the decade of darkness.
If the Jets lose tonight, are people going to throw jerseys on? I'm so embarrassed to cheer for this team. Like, really?
If the Jets get blown out tonight, yeah, you could probably expect to see a jersey on the ice.
But what does that prove? Don't build a President's Trophy winning team. Yeah. How dare you? How dare you lose to another excellent team in the playoffs? Like, it just does not make any sense.
It is kind of a waste.
Well, and that's the thing. It's a waste of your possession of your property.
Wonder what they do. What do they do with the hats? They donate them?
I think they donate them.
They have to wash them all.
Depends on the team as well. I mean, most times they donate them. Some players get to pick out their favorite hats.
Yeah, that's weird.
Maybe they get to keep their own jersey.
Yeah. Sign it and throw it back over the over the boards. Wow, you're quite riled up about this.
I don't know. I just have an opinion on it.
Do you think they don't throw jerseys onto like Cleveland Browns fans? They don't throw jerseys on because it's just too far away.
Maybe it's just too far away. They need a gun. They need the launcher.
What if they brought it and they premeditated it and brought it frozen in an ice ball and hucked it on the field so they could get it there? That would be impressive. Still a waste, but impressive.
You got to do like a shot put. Gotta really get into it.
Danny C. Wow, can't believe you said that. No way in hell a jersey gets thrown on the ice in Winnipeg.
Well, I hope not.
Yeah.
I'm saying it would be awful to do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, why? That's what I'm saying, Danny. Why would a Jets fan, after really an excellent season and perhaps being eliminated by another excellent team, why would that be worth a jersey toss? So that's what I'm saying about
it. Doesn't like
the Toronto. Why would that be like? To me, nothing is worth it.
To be honest, it doesn't bother me. I'm not. It just pick it up, move on. You know, the fan's going to have to deal with the consequences because you can't do that,
right?
But.
I just don't see, like, to me, there's a line. Like VR Montenegro says, you can protest however you wish. No, you can't, actually. Okay, so some people don't agree with what I'm saying. That's fine. You can tell me that. We're reading stuff in opposition to what I'm saying. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so VR, you can protest however you wish. So you'd be fine with someone breaking into the studio and throwing batteries at me while I'm live on air. To you, that's the same thing as saying, hey, Reid, I don't agree with you. However you wish, go ahead and do it. Come on, VR.
Well, that wouldn't be a peaceful protest, for one.
Right.
Throwing a jersey, I guess, would be...
Or putting a live skunk in the studio with us.
No, that would just be rude.
We'd probably name it.
You'd have to name it Pepe Le Pew.
Would we?
I think.
We could name it whatever we wanted.
I bet you that would lead the pack. You had to name a skunk. Wee wee.
By the way, Jay and I are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Craving a late night snack? Check out the Banquet's new late night happy hour menu. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. until close. Enjoy favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or the Banquet burger at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard. All right. We got a break?
We got a break.
Double word of the day.
Big time.
I'm not going to do... Maybe I'll tease the gentleman voice for one of the words of the day. Because we might get to 300, by the way. We're only a dozen thumbs away from 300.
Oh, let's
which
go.
would be pretty good. Cool. All right, here comes the coop.
Two teams are fighting for their playoff lives tonight in the NHL. Right now, the Caps and Canes are tied at 1 apiece nearing the end of the first period as the Caps trail 3-1 in that series. After that, Winnipeg hosts Dallas for Game 5. Stars looking to close out the series. And from Rimouski, the Oceanic have stormed the Wildcats, scoring 3 goals in the first period, having just about 5 minutes left in that frame as Moncton looks to sweep in the QMJHL final. Elsewhere, Oilers 2024 first-round pick Sam O'Reilly and the Knights challenged the Generals with London up 3-1 in the WHL final. Oshawa up 1-0 at the end of 20 minutes. Basketball has just one game. OKC hits the court in Denver for Game 6 of their series. Thunder can close out that one with the winner of that series facing the Timberwolves in Denver. Start Jamal Murray's questionable for the contest. Earlier, the Jays fell 8-3 to the Rays, with Toronto opening up a 3-game series against Detroit tomorrow. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at paramountflooring.ca. The final segment of the show and the word of the day brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Must you click?
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Final segment of the show, Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. You can skip the flight to Vegas because jackpots are just a tap away. Experience all the thrills of this casino, the casino, right from your phone with Play Alberta. Download the app today. Deposit $20 using the EST exclusive promo code 100Casino for a $100 casino bonus. Well, I've upset some people this week, eh? Jersey toss opinion, my rejection of the gentleman's sweep terminology.
It's fine.
Yeah,
you can't always agree.
No, that's true.
Grumpy Cat says, I was at the game when Scrivens threw it back. The person who tossed it was still wearing one as he ran back up the stairs. So it's not even real most of the time, I'd bet. No respect. You know that a fan is coming back eventually.
Well, and I found that too. Sometimes the fans who get the angriest and are the first to say, I'm never cheering for this team again, are actually the most hardcore fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highs and lows. Well, you've seen them on EST, in the nasty chat.
Yeah, I've seen them in a lot of different places for sure. Yes.
But I mean, it is what it is. If you want to be a hardcore fan, that's
right.
great.
And I'm the first to say be a fan however you want, but I don't think throwing anything on the ice at a game, except the hat after a hat trick, is appropriate. I just don't think it is. I think that's the playing surface. That's where other people are doing their work, and it should be respected.
Well, Reid, that's why you have an opinion, and you're entitled to it.
Darn tootin' I am.
Darn scootin' tootin' bootin'. New dude about it.
Well, who do you think... Who would have been the most unlikely overtime goal scorer for the Oilers last night?
Unlikely?
Yeah, was it Kapanen?
Kasperi Kapanen.
You think he would have been 18th on your list?
Well, other than Stu Skinner.
Well, yeah, 18 skaters, right? Would have he been 18th on your list?
Golly, Reid. I don't know.
I mean,
a guy might throw Nuge on there. Just saying.
Oh my.
Just saying. Yeah. Maybe Janmark?
Yeah, I mean, I would have had
Maybe Stetcher.
Okay, probably Stetcher.
Probably
Stetcher probably would have been 18th. I mean, Frederick maybe.
Yeah, he's been around it.
But he does when he gets he doesn't get his shot off a lot, but he's got a decent wrist shot. And you would have thought he would have been a candidate to score that type of goal as well. But yeah, I probably would have put all the defensemen except Stetcher ahead of Kapanen. I mean, certainly Bouchard, certainly Wallman because of their shots. I mean, Kulak is smart with how he shoots. So yeah, he might have been. Kip Kapanen might have been the 17th most likely Oiler to score last night.
Yeah. Funny how that works, huh?
I mean, I would have put Podkolzin ahead of him.
Did they do overtime magic in between the third and the overtime?
I don't know if they called it overtime magic, but I think they showed the two Draisaitl goals.
Okay.
Do they still call it overtime magic? Is that still a segment?
Do.
I don't even know.
So much. That was the best part of the playoffs. Getting you ready and pumped when you're watching an overtime game and it's time for overtime magic.
Would have you put? So yeah, I probably would have put Janmark as a more probable goal scorer than Kapanen. The thing is, Kapanen's on the ice with Draisaitl.
He's down there. Janmark's down there. Kapanen's down there. Stetcher's down there.
I think Stetcher would have been 18th.
I chose Draisaitl.
Oh, did you do picks at home?
I did with the friend group.
I thought it would have been McDavid or Eichel. I saw one of the stars would have ended that game. You can text us 780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant, all-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday. That is from 4 to 10 p.m. We still might get to 300 thumbs. We might do it after the fact, which is fine, but we easily have a double word of the day.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
There's beautiful Henrik Lundqvist.
Demonstrating how to play goal in a suit.
What does he know about it?
Wearing the equipment.
Word of the day, impervious. Impervious.
IMPERVIOUS. And it means to be not affected by. Connor McDavid was impervious to the insults slung at his goaltender. Wow.
2 for 2.
I knew that one.
Impervious describes that which does not allow something to enter or pass through. Second word of the day, crabwise. Crabwise.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll go for the obvious spelling. CRABWISE. Crabwise. So it is crabwise. I have never
This is an adverb.
Seen or heard of this word before.
Okay. Do you want... It might be worth it for you to give up the half point.
And get the sentence?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do it.
In the storage unit, they moved crabwise between teetering towers of cardboard boxes.
So it's some sort of a support.
Hang on.
Say that again.
In the storage unit, they moved crabwise between teetering towers of cardboard boxes.
Oh, it's to walk like a crab. It's to walk sidestep like a crab.
Coob, what do you think it is?
I think
like
that's what he was
sneaking through
doing.
in that way. I thought it was a sidestep to try and...
Side what?
Sidestepping.
Side what?
Sidestep.
Sidewalk?
To walk sideways. Right, well, that's what I meant, to walk with the crab-like movement.
Well, crab, I guess if they're standing on their back legs, they could... But a crab...
No, I don't know. Okay.
Sideways. Crabwise means sideways.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I learned something today.
So if you were to beat Matthew Iwanek in Tecmo football, he would go crabwise on you.
He would. He would be very
I'm
upset.
not sure you can use it.
No. What is it, 1-1 in this game still?
Yes, sir.
And then we got the Jets and Dallas coming up at 7:30. Carolina, Washington, 1-1. there in the first intermission. The Oilers will play in the Western Conference Final. They will start on the road against either Dallas or Winnipeg. Obviously, we don't know who yet, and we do not know when. It's, I guess, possible we could find out tonight, perhaps, if Dallas beats Winnipeg, but we just don't know for sure. But of course, we'll let you know here on Edmonton Sports Talk, and we will have our continued excellent coverage of the Oilers' playoff run. Fun show, everybody. Just remember, if I disagree with you, it's not because I don't like you. It's just because I'm trying to annoy and irritate you.
Well said.
On behalf of Zachary Kubish, the Coop, and Jason Milne, the Glue Guy, I'm Reid. Have a great evening.